What's happening? What's happening? What up, though? How's everybody doing? We are back. Oh my gosh, what's up, JP man? How you doing,
What's
man?
going on, man?
Chilling, man. You already know, man. Lord. I'm telling you, man. When you think your day is just going so great, anything can happen. Just anything can throw you off kilter. That's why you got to stay balanced.
Hey, man, the last time my computer just conked out on me, so we even
That's
now.
true. That's true. We
We
even.
even now.
We are even, man. Our malfunctioning just I don't know. Just seems like it's never gonna stop. Anyways, guys, you already know. Dang, man, where we at today? Let me just double check because hold up one second here. Okay, so yeah, I completely forgot what I call Tuesdays, but we are. It is Tuesdays, guys. It is Tuesdays. I forgot what the theme was for tonight. What's up, Lori? Lori's in the house. What's happening, everybody? Guys, be the first one in the chat. You will get a shout. I'll be the first one in the chat. You will be get a shout out here. I hope everyone's feeling well. I send nothing but sheer positivity your way. Hope everything's going great. Hope you had a great day. All right, that's what it's all about. We got Jess in the building. How you doing, Jess? This is going to be an interesting topic, indeed. Yes. Well, we're going to delve into it, and ladies and gentlemen, just the disclaimer is that you may not agree with everything we say. I mean, chances are that's going to happen, but listen, learn, and if you want to chime in, you got maybe a different perspective. We're always open and receptive to new understandings. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you guys saw the thumbnail. You know what it's all about tonight, right? Do you think women who falsely accuse men should essentially go to jail? That's the question for tonight. We're gonna it's look, I understand it can be a delicate topic, okay? Because you just never know. I mean, that's why I believe we should go back to a very fact-based, evidence-based system where, the preponderance of evidence matters. You have to be able to prove someone has is guilty of this crime, because this is a heinous crime. I mean, I don't think we as a society accept that sort of that degree of violation. So JP, what's up, man? Talk to me, man. What's on your mind? How do you feel about this? What's your thoughts? If you got some examples, you may know of someone who's been in this situation, but let us know. What's up, man?
Um, I really believe double standards is something that we battle with.
Uh oh.
As a man, we're held at a higher standard on a lot of things. So
Mm-hmm.
we are viewed as the leaders. So mistakes being made, allegations being brought out, we are looked at always as the aggressors because
Yep.
we are the dominant.
There you go.
So it's easier to be, and I really believe right now in this day and time that we're in, it's very dangerous because the first story that is put out is always believed.
Yep.
And that's the issue. That
Mm-hmm.
is the problem in these days and time now.
Yep.
I and we it used to be, you're innocent until proven guilty. But
You know what I just thought about? You know what I just thought about as you were saying that? You remember the campaign "Believe All Women," right?
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
believe that was actually a thing.
But also, even growing up, you have little sisters, little cousins
Yep.
that's girls. When they run and tell, usually it's always to get you in trouble because you didn't give them what they wanted.
No, you
So,
didn't.
it always happens like that. It's the
Yeah.
cute little girl, and they grow up like that. They
Mm-hmm.
grow up with that mindset that as they get older, it
Right.
continues that way.
Yeah.
They just give you a sad face,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, oh, it's no way she could have done that.
Yep.
He had to been that person to do
Mm-hmm.
that, and
So I
and
was
and it sucks.
so I was thinking about the I don't know if you're familiar, you've ever heard of this stat where essentially it's saying that what 1 in 5 women on college campuses have been either assaulted or raped. I'm gonna say grape for the algorithm, but that study has been thoroughly debunked. What they included in that study was whether or not a woman has felt pressured to have sex, whether or not she's had sexual relations under the influence of, alcohol, and presumably they both would be intoxicated. So they just added all sorts of variables that they tried to construe, basically, to be indicative of grape. And um, I'm trying to understand, because there are politicians even today that would campaign on that particular stat. That this is really happening. This is as prevalent as they're trying to portray it when it's really not. What do you think the concerted effort is behind that, or the motive for them to want to push that sort of narrative?
If you don't realize, and with your eyes you can see that it is to weaken the man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's to weaken the man. Shut
Mm-hmm.
up, do what we say.
There you go.
And right now the women are empowered by that.
Yeah.
One thing that I do believe is, when you give women a lot of power, they don't want to relinquish it. When they get it, they don't want to give it back. And they get empowered by that. They begin to
Yep.
get stronger.
Yep.
They begin to, it's like Thanos. It's
Mm.
like, they begin to get stronger, dog.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Yep.
after a while, they start to run into the weaker men because they have become weak because of everything that they've gone through.
Yeah.
And they
It's
just
almost
run
as
back.
it's almost as if men really don't have much recourse against these specious, false, fallacious narratives that they're just kind of drudging up right now. I mean, think about it, man. Even in regards to the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, right? This is a guy with status, money, prestige, whatever, and basically, in popular opinion, he was guilty before the evidence had even come to the surface. I mean, that you're guilty before you are innocent. There's no due process. uh and thankfully that she was found guilty, by a juror of her peers. But my thing is, just the mere fact that she tried to push that narrative that he had sexually assaulted her, abused her, and I thought about, that's typically because women are the weaker aggressor. Excuse me, they're the weaker vessels. They usually exhibit their aggression through by way of reputation destruction, either reputation destruction, manipulation, or innuendo, or what have you. But if so, just for an average dude who doesn't have those resources or the money, how is he supposed to fight against that?
Well, he can't, because if you're talking about resources, money talks,
Yeah.
bull walk. That's just that in a nutshell.
There
But
you go.
when you're dealing with money, logic and common sense is out the door.
Mm.
Because let's be real, when we look at this world these days, we see women are the aggressors.
Mm.
Women like to be aggressive, but they don't like the recourse of us pointing that out.
Nope. Not at all.
They are the most aggressive when it comes to
Yep.
sex.
There you go.
When they're attracted to a man, they don't like it when you call it out.
Right.
The thing about it too, it's hard to believe that men are sexually assaulted by women because they think that's just cute.
Mm-hmm.
When a man says no,
He should be able to take it.
he should be able to take it.
Yep.
But when a woman, it's all type of excuses when it comes to the man being, when it's wife or husband, if she's not in the mood, if she's not into it, he should understand.
Yep.
But if the man is not in the mood, he's cheating. Why are you not in the mood?
Yep.
Well, you see memes on the internet. A woman just say, "Oh, when he says no, I just wait till he
Mm-hmm.
sleep."
Yep. So
But
you're
when a
saying,
man does it, it's viewed as creepy.
there you go. Yep. And I always thought about it. It's as if women have the first right of refusal to be able to, smear a man, by calling him creep, or he's a stalker, or whatever the case may be. You can basically besmirch a man's character simply because that's how they can do it because that's what they feel. They feel like doing it. So, or whatever intention may be behind that, man. And you know what else I was thinking about is I don't know if you're aware, you heard about the situation with Drake with the girl who tried to something about the
With the
condom.
condom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um like just that alone, like and these women facing zero repercussions or any sort of consequences for this. In fact, I think she was suing Drake because she tried to put it inside, insert it back into her whatever, and it was hot sauce. So now she's suing Drake. Like, help me understand.
Well, again, in the days time with media, social media, and just society, if you don't realize, if you go back to your nieces, your cousins, your little sisters,
Mm,
things like that, you realize our parents and the adults raised the girls differently.
yep.
There was no accountability. And as you grow from
Yep.
a baby girl to a grown woman with
Mm.
no accountability, it's
Ooh,
hard to just
you are in a bubble.
to be
You are solipsistic. You are, yeah, completely self-absorbed. You think that you're invincible. You're pretty much sacrosanct. You
you
can't
can't
nothing.
tell a baby
You
girl
can't tell
no.
them anything. They would not accept accountability for nothing. Now that's what happens when you breed that sort of when you nurture that child that way up until adulthood. I agree. I wanted to play, well, real quick though. So in your opinion, what do you think, like, and if we were in an ideal world, what would be a consequence for a woman that would leverage such a heinous crime such as rape against a man? Like, we can just call out the Amber Heard scenario, for example. What do you think would be should be the appropriate consequence for someone like that?
Everything equal, bro. If they were
Hmm.
fighting for equal rights, they want to be viewed as the man. They want to have equal until it's the punishment, until
Hmm.
it's the recourse, till it's the reprimand. Then it's, oh no, I'm a woman.
Yep.
Everything that a man has to go through punishment wise, a woman should have to go through that also. It's
There you
just
go.
fair. It's just fair.
Yep.
I mean, the jail time should not be lessened because she's a woman. If she did
Right.
the same crime, the same action that the
Yep.
man did, I mean, that's only fair. We're not
It
saying
is.
that she should get the death penalty.
Exactly.
You know, even with murder,
Equal across the
it's
board. Yep.
always that the man must have abused her. It's
Yeah.
always self-defense.
Yep.
Sometimes a woman just feels like she snaps. In the heat of passion, a woman
Yep.
snaps. In the heat of
Yeah. I just read a interesting stat a while back where it said that men serve 66 more time than in prison than women do. 66% more jail time than the woman with the same offense.
well, it wasn't created for the woman anyway.
Yeah. Right.
It was created for the man. That's
Right.
just real. Prison
Yep.
was it was created for the woman, for the
Yeah.
man.
It's definitely the man's cage. Definitely. Hold up. I wanted to play since we're talking about Amber Heard here. I wanted to play her response to the verdict, and I want you guys to just pay attention to the sheer and utter lack of accountability here, because this, it's not even just it's not even just to highlight Amber Heard per se. It's to show you guys this sort of um this sort of lack of accountability, lack of self awareness has completely hijacked a lot of women today. The late great Kevin Samuels used to always say, accountability is like kryptonite. And the thing about it is, they garner public support. They can garner the public support merely just off of how they feel and how they can pretty much misconstrue the whole situation to favor them and to portray them as the victim. So just listen to her response. It's ridiculous. Hold up. Here we go.
Words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband.
Mm.
I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It
Oh
is a
wow.
setback, It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and
Wow.
humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously.
See what I'm saying? Like, like what? Okay, so you're gonna conflate a time where women would actually shun from public sphere to what happened with you and Johnny Depp, and you assaulted him, and you were lying on the stage, on the stand. Like, this is what I'm talking about right here. And you know what? I don't even necessarily want to put most of the onus on women. I just wish more and more women who really who subscribe to this notion of equality recognize that there is no equality. You know, yes, there are double standards in the world, but there is no equality. In fact, what they're promulgating to women, what they're trying to push on to women, is to fight for superiority. It's not equality. They want superiority. That's what they want. What's your thoughts on that, JP?
I really I hate that the sympathy card.
Oops. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Oh, you
Keep
put me
going.
down this time. I
My
thought that was
bad.
me again.
My
But
bad.
nah, it's the sympathy card always get pulled.
Yep.
It's all about how you feel. If she, cries wolf, and she just some crocodile tears, you know, you feel sorry for him. But then when you know she's wrong,
Yep.
you would play it against us like, oh, a woman can't speak
Oops.
out without getting scrutinized,
Yep.
and it's like, nah, they're lying.
Yep.
It's different between speaking out and getting backlash, right? And you just
Mm-hmm.
flat out lying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some out there flat out lying and getting away with it.
So do you think that if a woman professed that she experienced a a grape or a sexual assault or something like that, do you think that until that woman actually go report it, she should stay quiet, remain quiet, and not talk about it? Or because you got a lot of stories typically on TikTok and all over social media platforms for women to get on and say, "Yeah, I was psychologically abused, physically abused," and they'll try to discredit the man, whomever. Do you think if a situation actually like that played out in that woman's life, should she just remain quiet if she chose not to report it?
No, I think every woman is should speak up. Now, the problem is it's been a lot of them cry wolf. It's been so hard for the reason why they would say that their people are saying that they're lying or they're just pushed to the side is because so many women are crying wolf. So it's
Yeah.
hard to, it's that, when your grandma used to always tell you, if you lie one time, it's hard to believe you the
Yeah.
next time.
You lose your
It only
credibility.
takes one time to get caught lying, and then you're a liar.
Yep.
You lie one time, you're considered a liar. You don't have to be twice.
Thank
And
you.
and that's the thing. You lie one time, then you're a liar after that.
You
Nobody
ruin your
trusts
yeah,
you
you
again,
ruin your credibility. Absolutely.
small or big. And that's the issue. I think every woman should come out because let's be real, bro. Like you would never want to go through that, or even imagine a woman have to go through that.
Hmm.
Because first of all, no means no.
Yeah.
No means no, bro. And no man in his right mind should feel like he can't control himself. And that's the thing when it comes to how women always say, when they're wearing things and provocative or anything, at the club or out in public, no man should feel like he's entitled to grab on the butt just because you're in the club. Just because the atmosphere that you're around don't
Right.
mean that you act out of pocket.
But women are doing that today too, man. I'm hearing that. I mean, I don't know if you ever experienced it. I know I have. You know, a woman in the club and in whatever environment, particularly maybe like a club area, but um some cases they'll just walk up to you and touch on you, and if they feeling you,
And
they'll
it's okay. They feel like it's okay.
right.
Man, like it's one or two times, man, like I flipped the script. Like, a woman would, just like how they're becoming the aggressor, the man, right? So, sometimes it's good to pick fun. So when a woman is flipping the script and becomes the man, and I pretend like I take offense, or I pretend like, oh my God, like I'm offended. I'm offended. Like, are you serious? You don't know.
But that's the thing. Most men won't do that though. Like seriously, we'll just take it on the chin, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? We most of the time we're not gonna feel violated, but just in the land of equal, with the thought of equality is what whatever.
But women don't like to be rejected. So
Oh,
that's the fun
that's a
part.
fact. That's a
That's
fact.
the fun part.
Yep.
Women are the most competitive creatures on this earth.
There you go.
They are so competitive. And that is why they try to get men to compete so much, because they like that, and that's their nature, and
Yep.
they're mad and hurt when men don't do that. That's
Hmm.
why they like to try to make you jealous, because women compete for top spots in men's lives, so
Yeah.
they want men to do that too.
Yep. Yep.
Women are
Yep.
very competitive creatures. They compete with each other all the time. All this energy that they bring in this world.
Mm.
That is why it's so easy for them to pinpoint what they say is female behavior in males.
Hmm.
But also, some of this stuff that men end up adopting is because why they're raised by mothers,
There you go.
aunties, and there's no fathers.
Yeah, I think single mothers are the ones who are responsible for breeding quote unquote toxic men, toxic masculinity. Because
Yeah.
if you really want to look at it, toxic masculinity is, I think it's when a man is not in control of his frame. A man doesn't have he doesn't have composure of his frame, and he's emotionally erratic, and hence he'll commit some crimes or whatever the case may be, and he's in prison because he's emotional. I think toxic masculinity, uh, at the base of it, is just an emotional man that can't maintain his frame,
And he has no confidence.
and he has no confidence. There you
She
go.
has she has the mother has snipped them between the legs
Uh oh.
so much growing up. That's why
What the?
he's so dormant. That's
Yep.
why he's so just docile when it
Yep.
comes to women. He does it. He can't raise his voice because his mama always told him, don't raise your voice.
Yep.
So he treats every woman as if that's his mother. So now he does not know the difference between that's not my mama and this is my
Mm-hmm.
potential mate.
Yep.
So he treats her exactly like he treats his mother. So that is why it's so easy for a woman to take advantage of him. Now, not only that, it's flipped the same way too. Men are able to prey on females also because they don't have fathers. But that is why women they're prone to find older men
Mm-hmm.
because they're looking for structure. And that older man knows that. So
Hold
it's
on.
it's on both ends.
So yeah, it is on both ends, and I agree with you. But my thing is, I just don't think there's an equilibrium in regards to consequences. I mean, you hear about some of the most wildest cases where women can just do some crazy stuff, like some really wild psychotic, um, exhibit some wild psychotic behavior against a man, and nothing will happen to her. Like for example, I wanted to show you this real quick. Hold up. Man, hold up, man. Your boy trying
Busting
to get
windows out the car,
I bust, and they cheer it on. That's what I'm
busting
saying.
windows. They can pull up to the house,
Thank
cause
you.
commotion outside.
It's
When the
cheered though.
police
They
when the
cheer each
police
other
are
on.
called, they immediately go to the woman first.
Thank you.
They
Thank
asked
you.
the woman, "Do you want me to take him to jail?"
Thank you. Thank you.
He can have bruises all over him, but he still won.
Yep.
Somehow, some way, he still won. Somehow, some way, he's bruised up, but somehow he still won.
Right. So that's what I'm
He
like.
abused her.
Where the feminists at for that? Like, why aren't they marching for that sort of equality? If we're gonna, I mean, you guys, it's like y'all want the freedom without the responsibility. Yeah,
Oh,
and
the feminist movement is, no accountability movement.
there you go. And speaking of feminists, raging feminists, here, this is what I wanted to show you here. So just hear what she said. I know you probably saw this already, but for our viewers, guys, listen to what this crazy bat, just crazy female, what she has to say about finessing NBA players. Oh, here we go. People to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms. Hold on, let me start it over. Experience the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb. Like, did y'all? Oh my god! So if you really want to come up on a check, all you have to do is have sex with an athlete and get pregnant. Like,
Well,
and this girl is well respected amongst women. Like,
that's Brittany
she's
Renner.
that's Brittany Renner. Yep, that's her. She's the one that's passing down the instructions on how to be a decadently immoral woman. I mean, she's giving out the instructions on that.
Well, bro, we have to look within ourselves and understand that's our fault too. Like, you can't give a woman that much power for her to feel like she can
Right.
trick me out
Yep.
of a check by what it take. It takes me
I
to
know.
have to take the time to give you my sperm.
Hmm.
I should not feel like she should never feel like I'm dumb enough to
Hmm.
do something like that when it takes me also to not use protection unless I
Right.
use her condom that she gave me that she poked a hole in. But if I don't use the condom, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we have to look at if we give them the field to play on, but do we give them the ball?
Yep.
They can't play without the ball.
Yeah.
We
I
give them
agree.
the ball.
Yeah.
That's our fault.
Yep.
We do not lay down. We don't When we lay down rules, we don't stand on them. When morals, rules, and none of that, we don't stand on them, bro. Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, if she get butt naked, we like, damn,
Yep.
all right, that's all out the window. And they know that. Just like when the young lady just said, women move off emotions and men move off logic. That's correct. But we have to be logical every single time.
Yep.
Emotion only comes in empathy, sympathy, understanding situations and issues
Hmm.
that can hurt you, that can harm you, that affect you.
Yep.
But we have to be logical every single time. Using a condom every single time is logic. That
Hmm.
it just makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're not
Especially if it's,
married, if
I
y'all
know,
are
if
not
it's
in a
not your wife.
relationship,
Absolutely.
y'all don't see any future with each other. That's just logic. It
Right.
takes nothing to go to the stove, bro. It's a minute since I've because been to the clinic to go get the condoms that they give for free, but I'm pretty sure the clinic still gives them for free.
Yeah.
You know,
You can
like
yeah, you can
you
buy
spend the
contraception
money on it,
everywhere. You can purchase contraception everywhere. That's why that's no excuse. Like
but the
you
free part, like the clinic part of grabbing the free,
right.
like yeah, like you can go purchase that. Like you spend money on blunts, Black and Mild, cigarettes,
Yep.
all kind of stupid stuff, but you can't spend $5. Cigarettes is just as much as condoms. But you be like, nah, let me grab this box of cigarettes, man. I ain't gonna worry about them condoms. Shit make no sense.
Excuse
And
me.
and and she's not an ugly woman. That's the thing. We so
Mm-mm.
caught up by visual that
Yep.
she fine. Man, I don't need no condom. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, and and yes, I absolutely believe it's incumbent upon both men and women to make sure they are practicing safe sex. If that's what you guys are going to be getting into, sure. My only issue is just that, um what I see is I see a bunch of weak men who in turn are rewarding women for bad behavior. Um and let me explain. For example, you got guys that are like reinforcing this type of stuff to each other, reinforcing to women that, hey, look, this is the type of chick we want, blah blah blah. And it's a small segment of guys. I'm not saying it's mostly men. I'm just saying there's a segment of men who push this degeneracy, and the women that align with it, they'll adapt to that rhetoric, and then in turn, when they do some of the things that we're seeing happening right now in society, such as leveraging false allegations and pretty much um, um, you know hijacking condoms and things like that. The men are surprised that these are the results of what happens when you are rewarding women for bad behavior. Um, I absolutely believe that as a man, like you have to have more discipline. Of course, absolutely have to have more discipline. But I also think that because the women will ultimately incur a higher investment cost when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to, being maybe potentially having to take care of the child by yourself. It's a more of an investment cost for her. So why wouldn't you practice? Why wouldn't you be safe in your sexual endeavors?
You,
I don't
you
know this.
know, another problem, men are not believing that they're the alpha. They're looking for a woman to just give them that role.
There you go.
We don't have many men grabbing the bull by the horns and leading anymore.
Yep.
They're hoping a woman comes in submissive, and that's how they go. They don't want to take the time to actually prove that they are the alpha, because at the end of the day, they are just looking at, because I'm a man, hey, you should just bow down because I'm a man. But the
Hmm.
thing about it is, there you're being a lot of women are taking on a lot of mama's boys.
There you go.
A lot of mama boys.
A lot of mama's boys that were raised by single moms, and these single moms had no idea how to rear, raise, and build a man. So it's just a perpetuating cycle. It's a perpetuating cycle, and it's a vicious cycle that's just continuing and continuing to happen. And people don't even realize it's just taking just something as simple as, look, don't put yourself in a precarious scenario where you can possibly be raped, or if you're going to engage in a situation with a female, make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you protect yourself, because there's no guarantee she's going to protect herself. So you do what's best for you. Um, so I mean, and just those small changes right there alone can have such an impact.
And even getting into the assault part, I just really think also, it's, no matter how you slice it, man, good or bad, bro, a lot of women these days put themselves out there in a manner that they know
There you go.
the certain attention they're
Yep.
going to get, but
Yep.
they're not expecting it to go overboard.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
no, again, like I said, no, a man should be able to control himself, but you have to understand not everybody's wired like that. So
That's
you have to look at
right.
every individual
Right.
the same way and put that boundary on what you put out there and say,
Exactly.
this is the line that I am going to have everybody at, whether I know that person has the
Yep.
self-control or not.
Right.
because you everybody's not the same, and you can't.
Mitigate the risk.
When it comes to that, you cannot. You have to be on your P's and Q's. Now, business wise, taking a chance of who you ask to go somewhere with, of a gathering, that's different. But when it comes to your life and death, bruh, your safety, you have to have everybody on the same level.
Yep.
You can't slip up with none of that.
Yep. I
You
totally
gotta
agree.
got to be airtight with that. So you got to look at what people, with some of these females, when you look at social media, their memes, it's always sexual. You look at, I just looked at so many pictures of for Halloween. That was just the excuse for them for soft porn. You know what I'm saying?
Tell them. Tell
To
them.
dress up as some of this provocative stuff. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because they already go
It
to the
was,
club half
man.
dressed anyway. So
Exactly.
now this is an excuse to be even more half dressed.
Yep.
Not only that, you trick or treating with your kids in this costume. So now we don't realize as a culture too, just because it's not direct, but indirect sexualizing our kids, we have to pay
Exactly.
attention to. You're
Exactly.
indirectly sexualizing these kids by being provocative in this, Little Red Riding Hood, or this Harley Quinn outfit. Most of these women know they breast big, so they got it tied up right here.
Right.
So you're sexualizing these kids indirectly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And these same children grow up. They grow up with this with that sort of image embedded into their psyche, and it becomes normalized in their minds. And they're like, okay, look. So if I engage in the same activity, it's no different because this is what I'm used to. And these type of women to put themselves in, again, these precarious scenarios where, hey, they might have had a little bit too much to drink. They might have had, maybe hanging with the wrong people who genuinely may not have their best interests at heart, and something, fortunately something happens, and then, it's her word against whoever she's accusing at that point in time. But you don't really know. You don't even know, because you weren't coherent enough to be able to remember exactly what took place. So that's what I'm saying. It's all about risk mitigation. So if you're gonna go outside, and if you're gonna dress in scantily clad clothing, don't be surprised that you're gonna attract certain types of attention. And there's a difference between sexual attention and relationship attention. I think women, and I've said this before, a lot of women need to make that distinction in their minds, that just because someone's coming to talk to you and he may be friendly or whatever the case may be, you
Don't
don't
mean they
know
trying to
what their
holler.
intentions are. They may be attracted to however you presenting yourself, and in their minds, they're like, okay,
Those
she with it.
those false accusations of assault comes from, again, like I said, it's two things that a woman does not like: rejection and embarrassment.
Right.
So now, if that woman agreed to have multiple men at one time at this party,
Mm,
she agreed to it, she's
yep.
having fun. Now what happens? Oops, it was recorded and it got leaked.
Yep.
That's embarrassment.
Mm.
So now it's assault. They put something in my drink. I was drunk. I told them no.
Yep.
And the problem is, we don't realize also, me and you talked the last time about the inflection of your voice and how your tone for it to be serious. So now we hear stop or no, we think, oh, that's keep going. Oh,
Hmm.
no, that when she say stop, like being persistent is what you just wearing her down. But men don't realize, man, like some women also, they get so afraid sometimes and so uncomfortable, they get they start to fear for their lives. So they give it to you now because it's like, okay, if I give this to him, maybe he'll just leave me alone and it'll be over with.
Hey, JP, turn your audio up a little bit. Looks like somebody's. Somebody said in the chat it's hard to hear you. I can hear you, but I don't know. They might not be able to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kathy says,
How
"Oh,
about how about now?
yeah, I can hear you. Yep, you
Okay.
good." People in the chat, everyone in the chat, if you just put a one in the chat if you guys can hear them. Let me know if you need to turn it up a little bit more. Kathy says, "Oh, gross! Multiple men at once. That is just downright sickening." Well, Kathy, unfortunately, it's more commonplace than what you than you can imagine. It is. It's yeah, par for the course almost. But what about so the stat that I mentioned earlier? All right, okay, they put a one in the chat. Cool. The stat I mentioned earlier about the 1 in 5 women being assaulted and raped on college campuses. Um, a lot of politicians are campaigning on that. That's what they're leveraging to kind of stoke up this fear, to fear men. You know, men are trash. Don't men are not to be trusted. Do you think those politicians should be held accountable for their words?
Yeah, because words mean a lot. The definitions of words, bro. Wordplay uh is a big thing. Go back to what you said earlier about instead of physical rape, and it was like, emotionally and things like that. Man,
Yeah.
wordplay is very, very important. And I think the politicians, when they should be held accountable on a lot of things, because hey, let's go back to the orange man. A lot of them, when his speech before January 6th, they picked apart a lot of words
Oh,
to
yes, they
sound
did.
like it was for him an insurrection. And I'm
Yep.
like, I don't hear it. It's some I don't hear it. Point out something, but
I
it's
heard
some,
him say peaceful protest. That's peacefully. What did he say? Let's peacefully march to the Capitol.
but
That's
you
what I heard.
but you would say that's cold. But
Right.
again, that wordplay that you used about, she would say that she raped, but then she's a great assault, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if she just says that word, so then they go and investigate it, find out there's no evidence, so she backtracks and say, well, that can be in multiple ways. It can be emotional. It can be
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other. It's like, now is, again, if she would have said that first, we look at it differently. But she
Yep.
just said, great.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she said.
Yep.
So now it's a gray area. It
Yeah.
can, it can, but when we look at great, we're thinking again, he took it. He forcefully took it
Yep.
from me.
Forcefully took it from him. What's happening? We got Savage Royalty in the house. What's happening?
He forcefully took it from me.
Man, I should drop the link for her. See, I love to hear
Oh
her
yeah.
opinion. I love to hear her opinion. Hey,
Uh,
Savage, listen. Hey, if you want to jump on here, we're I'm sure you know what the topic is. If you don't, let me know. But yeah, if you want try to jump up in here and chime in. But so I want to go back into to the reputation destruction. How can a man ever recover from um being accused of something like that? Is it possible? I mean, what, or is it that you know in the eyes of court of public opinion, you will be you'll constantly be you know known as a rapist.
it's certain things, bro, that a man cannot come back from when his reputation is smeared, and
Yeah.
that's a pedophile, and that's raping of women. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something that, again, you can look at the sex offender list. A lot of the men, they didn't forcefully just assault with little
You're right.
kids or
Yep.
anything like that, or women. It was the
Mhm.
circumstances of something else happened. But
Yep.
when you don't know the complete story and only that
Yep.
you read those charges, most women don't take the time to talk to you, because again, all that they need to do is read that, they stay away, because
Hmm.
again, most women have kids, bro. You don't have time to try to figure out, what really happened. But then again, this is the crazy thing. You, a man on the streets that that's walking around here with those charges, you won't give him the time of day. But there's weak women who work in the correctional system, or it's weak women who need that just want attention from a man. They become a prisoner's pen pal, and they know that he has those charges. So you will bring him
What?
out of the jail and bring him into your home, rather than you see one on the streets and you walk away from him.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh nah, it's bro. That do that.
No, I'm not even gonna lie. I've seen that. I've seen that, man. That's wild. That's crazy.
The world is so backwards, bro.
It's so
It's so backwards.
it's upside down for real.
The beautiful lies when you want to just discredit something that's in your face, that the truth is right there. You try to find flaws in it, but then it's like you see the opposite, and you like, I want to give that a chance.
Right.
It's like, it makes no sense at all. This guy's out here changing his life, made a mistake, and probably wasn't even as serious as you thought it was, and you just don't even want to hear it. But you know this man maliciously just took you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if women understood, more women understood the gravity of leveraging such an accusation against a man, like the consequences, and just how that man his reputation is destroyed after that. And like you said, until the evidence is brought to bear, you don't really know the full detail. You don't know. And that's why I think that's what the judicial system is supposed to be for, is to scrutinize and to talk, to really go into the circumstances of what happened, and to actually present all that evidence. But it's just unfortunate that we've got campaigns like Me Too and Believe All Women, things like that, that's being pushed, that a man doesn't even have a chance coming out the gates.
It's
like
softening
nothing.
It's softening him up. Softening him up.
Hey, Royalty, I dropped the link. Come on in. I'm gonna drop it again.
It's the softening him up, man.
She's scared. My bad. So I was just playing.
It's the softening him up, man. And all I can do, man. Yeah, I said the same thing.
Yeah, he said send her to prison for lying. It's almost attempted murder. Yeah, I think
you murdered my character. You
exactly,
bro. That's murder.
I think whatever penalty that they plan on giving a man, whatever sentence they plan on giving a man, if they find out the evidence was not substantiated, they need to apply that same penalty to that woman. Now, I'm not saying she need to be thrown away for jail, thrown away for life. I'm just simply saying there needs to be some consequence for once the evidence, for that accusation, for that false accusation. I mean, because if it's proven in court that you lied, and that's what happened with
let's take it back.
One second. Savage Royalty says she's trying to understand the topic I just got here. So the topic is: do you think women who leverage false allegations against men should face jail time or face any sort of consequence if it's proven that she has completely lied, such as the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case? She lied. If that's proven in the court of law, should that woman then face some sort of repercussion, consequence? That's the topic, Savage. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Let's take it back, right? All right, and let's take race out of this. The guys from Duke, the lacrosse team, the guy from what it was, Stanford.
Yep.
He was caught.
Yep.
Raping the woman behind the dumpster. He had to they had to pry him off of her. And he got probation. But then you had was it Miami or the black football player that the woman lied? He got 5 years.
Yes.
He can't play football anymore.
Yes. What the heck? I forgot his name. Yep.
Those are the situations where black or white, bro. when you put a woman in that situation, bro, it's dangerous. And not only that, your status of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
it plays a big role in the heightened of figuring out if it's true or not. That's the problem too, because a lot of these women, depending on who you accuse, it also can hurt too, because a lot of women will not get any help when they are really raped. Depending
Right.
on who that person is.
Right. It discredits the woman who's actually experiencing that. It like
Exactly.
bro. It just completely blots out all the women who's actually going through something like that. It's like they're not to be believed, because you got a lot of these charlatans out here pushing this as if this is something that experience in their life. And that's really sad, because then a lot of the women who have been raped, they're going to lose interest in even coming out and speaking out about it, or even reporting it. And then the perpetrator, the dude, the person who committed the crime, is just going to get away scot-free.
So even the wordplay, like I just said about Orange Man, they were hinging on when he said that he grabbed him by the, the whatever.
Uh-oh.
But okay, but
What the?
he said, and they cropped out all the conversation of what he said though.
Mm,
He said, having money, having privilege, having power, they don't mind it.
yep.
He could just walk up and do whatever. Was he lying? Is he lying?
A lot of these women
And,
want
and, and,
opportunities.
and
They want the opportunities. They want that opportunity.
again,
So, and they're going to do what it takes to
take
get that
race,
opportunity.
take race out of it. How many of our black rappers, black
Ugh,
celebrities
come on,
will
man.
go in the black strip club, will go in these
Bro.
cities when they're on tour and take advantage of
Yep.
the lower privileged women who
Yep.
just searching for opportunity and
Yep.
just want to just say, I was with him, I was in the room. And they
Mhm.
do, they can grab them by the hoo-hoo, and it don't matter.
That's
They don't
because, yep.
care.
And
They
it's
take
because
pictures with them
is
like
that
that.
exactly, and that's why I always bristle at this notion that whenever you hear women say men sexually objectify them, when it's like, wait a second, there was not a gun put to your head, force you to get on Instagram and show your parts, or to be at a Drake party or a party with Future or whatever the case may be. You put yourself in that predicament. You did that. Like,
And
you consciously chose to do that.
And you know what? If you pay attention to some of these celebrities, their movements, you can tell which ones are. I feel bad for Kiki Palmer because
Kiki Palmer. She
she
the
took
church. She the church.
the she played on what is it, Killer and the Bee, or the Spelling Bee girl. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kiki
Okay.
Palmer was on a lot of stuff. She
Okay.
said the thing about Trey Songz.
Oh, wow.
And the
This.
thing about it is she got so much backlash about it. But if you go back and you check out Trey Songz, you listen to all his music. He's very explicit.
Very
Bro,
explicit.
say we're thinking because he pouring the champagne. Look at the video. Look, that's with their heads back, pouring something up to their mouth.
There you go.
He said the neighbors gonna know my name. Infidelity. He says if he find out this woman is with another man, she
Man.
gonna kill him and her. Listen to the lyrics, bro. This man here is insane. He
Mm-hmm.
he forcefully himself on women,
Yeah. A
and
predator.
those are the type of women right there that again they get looped. Because one thing about it, now Chris Brown. Now that's up in the air to where it's like, come on now, Chris, nah, But Trey sing about it.
He
R.
sings about it. He's
Kelly
telling it.
sing
He's telling
about
these women. He's making it unequivocally clear to these women what he's all about.
panty droppers,
But they still throwing the panties at him. Yes, absolutely,
panty droppers.
absolutely, absolutely. And
I
that's
can't help but wait. What you
I
mean?
can't help but
That's stalking. That is stalking, bro. That's stalking.
I bet you they're gonna reconsider listening to these songs, huh?
Like, just listen. I'm somebody on your subscriber right now, probably royalty. She's gonna go now and listen to all the songs and be like, oh man, they're going
He's
to put
telling
it
you.
very differently.
Yep. Yep.
He's
He's telling
telling
you.
you. R. Kelly is telling you.
He's telling you exactly what he's all about. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't really. I don't know. I take it with a grain of salt when women just when they're just kind of just saying portraying themselves as the victim, because you just some of that has to do with you consciously making these choices to put yourself in this whatever setting or dealing with whatever man. You put yourself in that situation and don't cry wolf when the situation doesn't turn out, you know, favorably for you. All right. But what I see more is, unfortunately, is that you see um women, they can garner that support from other women in particular, and in beta males, a lot of simps. They can leverage all that support in their favor, and just that power alone. And you know, again, you got the Believe All Women and the Me Too campaign. Women can tell no lie. With all that going on, it's like, oh my god, it's like David and Goliath. How is a man supposed to stand up to that?
I mean, we've been neutered, in
Neutered.
in society, bro.
He
Like,
said neutered.
we have been, they've bro, we're in a society now, our berries are being chopped off.
Chopped off.
It's being chopped off. It's like when
Castrated.
yeah, you ever heard a man when he get hit, he has that high pitched voice. It's like that's what a man sounding like when he walk around
Hmm.
talking to a woman now. No bass in his voice. No, it's like the lion without a heart.
Yeah.
Don't
Yep.
raise your voice at her. You are being dominant. Don't do that.
Yep.
Standing over her.
Yep.
Don't do that.
And I
Like,
can see exactly what you mean by neutering, because it's almost like cloistering this man in a cocoon of just subservience. You do what you're told and shut your mouth.
a dog is not the same, man, after he becomes neutered.
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
the same. He knows it's something different.
Hmm.
He knows it's something different.
Savage, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Uh-oh. Here she come. Uh-oh. Hold up. Let me get this off the screen really quick. We got Savage in the house.
Hi,
What's happening?
hey, I'm trying to calm down because I was in the bed. But what's going on, fellas? How
Oh,
you guys
dang.
doing?
Okay. Okay. Well, much love to you. Much love to you. All right.
Yeah.
Real quick though. I mean, you kind of got the concept of the topic.
Yeah, you basically, you're talking. You said you're talking about women who are accusing men of sexual assault and things of that nature, and how they should be prosecuted for that, right?
Right. What's your thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
I do believe that they should be prosecuted in some way, shape, or form. But I also believe that um there's a judicial failure actually when it comes to those type of situations. So
Hmm.
I believe that like the prosecutors, I mean the lawyers or whatever who worked for her, who knew for a fact that she could be lying. Of course, she needs
Hmm.
to, they need to also
Mm.
form things for that as well. But
Mm.
that's my. I'm just here. I'm writing. I'm just trying to really get a gist, but to really give my input on everything, I can't really give everything until I know what's actually being put down.
Yeah, no, right. Hey, no doubt, no doubt. JP, you want to respond to what she said real quick, and I'll give my little 2 cents, and then royalty, you can, you know what I'm saying, you
When
blessed us with your
when she,
presence, so you ain't gotta stick on too long.
when she was saying about the lawyer actually knowing that, it's like, boy, that whole system is corrupted because
Yeah.
again, as a defense, shit, that's the same thing of knowing that the guy you are defending is a murderer. You
Hmm.
know that. you're trying to get them off, so that the whole system is crooked. But I felt like, yeah, if she's found guilty of lying, if she's found out, yeah, everything is fair game.
Fair game. I
It's
mean,
fair.
again,
Oh,
that's what they fought for. I mean, they fought for equality,
Yeah,
and
that's what they fought for.
so things need to be equal across the board, right?
Yeah.
now my question to you, I heard you also make the Trey Songs and the Chris Brown. What was that? Can you say that again for me?
Oh, okay. So what we was talking about was the Kiki Palmer thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that, though that is an instance where I felt bad for her, you know, not being believed on. She took so much flack for it off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody listened to her from the beginning. And all she said was that he was just making her feel uncomfortable. And so me bringing that up, I said, well, look at the songs that he puts out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't those songs he starts to resonate in your mind like he is pretty aggressive. He does make he sounds like he makes
Yeah.
you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Right. So what was that? What you said about Chris Brown?
Now Chris Brown, there was when he found out when it was brought up that it was a lie.
Right, but
He
Chris
did.
Brown and Trey Songs make the same type music. What's the difference?
Yeah, but I don't believe that if you listen to Chris Brown music and Trey Songz music, it don't line up exactly the same way.
Right, but Chris
It
Brown also has more allegations against him than Trey Songs. So
abuse of physical abuse.
of sexual abuse as well. He
But
has
how
Damn.
multiple accounts of sexual abuse has been accused by Chris Brown, being accused against Chris Brown. So there is
I
actually
wouldn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go
there
ahead,
is
finish.
no
Finish.
there's no difference between Chris Brown and Trey Songz at all. They both have the same type of music. They talk about sex. They're both very aggressive. They both say the same type of music. They're very sexual in their videos. There's nothing difference between the two.
Now, when you say aggressive,
Mm.
how many times again you saying that he has many allegations, but are we still going in the aggressive of we're seeing that Chris Brown has an anger aggressive part, or rather than the sexual like
Sexual.
because
Sexual.
when you're saying aggressive, are we just going about of saying because Chris Brown has a temper and that's his aggression? When it comes sexual and physical, we got
Se-
to separate the two though.
Sexual can also be aggressive as well. A
But
man can be
we're
very much
talking about
So
the
hold on. Let's just okay. So in regards to the allegations against Chris Brown and Trey Songz,
yeah.
has any of this been substantiated? I mean, because again, we can speculate back and forth, but if this was in actual court and it was being adjudicated, it comes down to what she's that woman, what women are able to prove. So I don't know. I mean, maybe y'all can enlighten me, but has anything that's been that they're accusing these Chris Brown and Trey Songz, has it been substantiated to y'all
Trey,
knowledge?
Trey Songz did not go to court. Chris Brown didn't make it to court because it was already just proven that it wasn't true.
Well, there you go.
That we just swept the Trey Songz one under the rug. They just didn't believe Kiki at all. They went
Yeah.
further with the Chris Brown and found out that his wasn't. Now she's saying there's multiple. Now I've only heard of this one that they went further and they found out that it was a lie. Now when she's saying that she just came in,
Mhm.
that meant she didn't hear when we first started about saying all it takes is for you to be found that you a liar.
That's what I was thinking. Like
Yeah,
all
all
these
it takes is one
accusations,
time.
like are they just mere accusations, or are these women? I mean, are there police reports associated with this? Because that's one thing that's one thing that I'm grappling with. Like you can have women getting online, social media, making these posts, and crying victim and victimizing themselves. But it's another thing when it's like, okay, you just experienced something as devastating as grape, but you're not even going to go file a police report. So if this happens to somebody else, you you guilty by association.
But here's where you lose me at, okay? You lose me where you have multiple accusations from different women, okay, that's saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. See, I don't really idolize these people, and I understand that money buys power, in all circumstances, especially when it comes to celebrity. So when you have multiple women that are coming out, I don't really care if it's coming to be that they something is happening to where it's constant over and over and over and over again, where you're being accused of some form of sexual assault. When you have somebody, you have celebrities coming out, you have random women coming out. You have Kiki Palmer, who you said that there's been multiple people. You have other women that said that Chris Brown, multiple people. So that's why I do not separate them, because I understand that money buys power and control when it comes to success.
I don't.
On another on another
Go
on
ahead. I'm
another
sorry.
token, I also believe that in this, when it comes to these, another reason why I can't separate these two is because I look at them as the same type of people. Very
Mhm.
sexual. Women will want them. Women will also actually throw themselves on them, of course. But you
Right.
have to also understand that many of these celebrities use their power for that alone. And that's where many of these accusations are coming from, where they use their power of success in order to get these women to do the sexual things to them, these women.
See, that's the hold up. See,
And they
that's what
Oh,
that's
no,
that. See,
that's
that's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, that happens. That
true.
happens. That happens. That happens. That happens. But again, these men are highly sought after. And listen, I don't idolize these guys neither. In my mind, they both a piece of filth. I don't particularly care about them anyway. But these men are highly sought after by droves of women. I mean, women are they're fawning after these guys day in day out. So I can understand and I can actually believe that there are multiple claims being leveraged at them. But what I'm saying is, okay, what are the intentions? What are the ulterior motives? What's the motive? Because if these things are really happening, these women should have some evidence. They should be able to back up their claims. Because what we're talking about is that, yeah, you got celebrities and a bunch of women are crying that, you know what I'm saying, they had some bad experience with these men. I'm not saying all of them are wrong or lying, but I'm saying there has to be a segment of women that that have ulterior motives
Well,
because
that's
it's proof.
no, my
Go ahead.
bad.
I'm sorry. No,
That
I'm
that's
good. I'm good.
that's hard though, Neil. It's hard
But
because
if it's hard, if
if
it's
you don't
hard, I can acknowledge that. If it's hard, I can acknowledge that. But we cannot just immediately out the gate say the man is guilty.
exactly,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
that's what we talked about earlier. It's hard because a lot of these women cried wolf, and it got mixed. The good are mixed with the bad, so
Yep.
it's hard to kind of, without catching them in the
Sift
act,
through.
which
Yeah.
is the college guy that he was caught on top of the girl behind the dumpster. That is open and shut.
That's right there. Open and
That's
shut. Right.
open and shut. But the Duke lacrosse team, the football player, and even the Trey Songz or the Chris Brown, like if it is not caught on video in the act, other than just the rape kit, it's kind of hard for you to when you define evidence. It's hard because
Right. So what do we default to? To the man being he's guilty because we can't substantiate it. That's what I'm saying. That's where we are right now in society. Is okay. Well, we can't prove it, but as long as she said it and she accused him of it, it's got to have some credence behind it. And I think that's sad because it doesn't even give the man a fighting chance because automatically, in the eyes of public opinion and whoever the social circles are in that city, state, whatever, the man's guilty.
okay,
Guilty.
I see what you're talking
And
about.
all I'm
Okay,
saying is, yeah, there are predators out
we don't
there, and
have
I think
we don't have
predators,
a leg to stand on.
right? And I think
We don't
predators,
off the gate.
rapists, people who do violate, they definitely need to be killed. In my opinion, they need to be killed or castrated. That's my
So
opinion.
so that's why when she said there's no difference between Trey and Chris. And I'm like, all right, now when that there is a difference because one said that it didn't happen. We know that that was found out that it didn't happen. Now, one, we're looking at evidence of it can line up and say, damn, he does seem very freaking creepy. That is your evidence of
Right.
how you build a case of
but you're
creepy shit.
actually, JP, you're actually doing what you actually saying what you don't want them to do. So basically,
Yeah, no,
you're
that
using
is true.
You're using speculation of his music. Of this
Right.
wouldn't fit him because of his
Actions.
music.
That's
Just
circumstantial.
like
That's
just
circumstantial, bro.
yeah, just
Actions.
like you're saying that they shouldn't go after the woman off of circumstantial evidence. Well, you
Right.
don't guilty off of circumstantial evidence.
Right.
So that's
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
only
she's
So
reason
right.
that you're
She's right.
saying that's the only reason that you're saying that they're nothing alike is because one has a more aggressive music, which has no evidence at all. That does it has
okay,
nothing to
She
do.
got a point.
It has
Uh oh.
nothing
and
to
I get
do.
what she's saying. I
It
get
has
Hold
what
up.
she's
nothing. Hold on,
saying.
let me finish. Let me finish. It has nothing to do with the person and the character of this person. Okay. So you're basically doing exactly what you're saying that you don't want done to you in the first place. So it's okay for it to be done to the women, but yeah, you can't do it to us because you're
Okay.
doing the same thing.
So now look. So check this. Then that is now we're using that because when you're saying that we're using the music, now I'm talking about the actions of the videos too and his actions. Because again, now we're gonna use and say videos and TV is just acting. But again, when we look at with celebrity in Hollywood, when movies, music videos, it plays out real life. Those are real actions. Most of these stuff we can't sit up here and say, "Oh, that's just fake," because that's entertainment. A
Mm.
lot of this stuff is still real. So again, it's a gray area when you got to still say, "All right, let's use logic.
Mhm.
Let's start to pinpoint action and movement. Let's look at behaviors. Let's look at sequence of how much
Mhm.
this happens back to back." It's not saying we're looking at that and saying, "Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna go
So
against."
so
No.
so you're saying that there's varying degrees of how much a person puts out about
Yes.
himself. Okay.
Yes, because let's check this. Let's check this, right? Look at Gabrielle Union. When she in her roles in her acting, she always played as the single woman, the auntie, the one that took a man from took that had no husband, no stable relationship. She was just the one that had all the money, and she just go finds a man, have sex with him, or the side chick. What did she actually do? Sometimes these actors and these celebrities, they are really that because that's why they play it so good. They
Mhm.
become that person either because that's who they used to be, I mean, that's who they are, or they become that because they begin to pretend to be that so much.
A
They
self-fulfilling prophecy.
yes.
Yep.
So again, I get what you're saying, but when I'm talking about the Trey Songz thing, look at that behavior. It is
So
a
royalty, are you saying that they're
They're
both
both
dirt
using the same
bags?
thing, and how you said you gotta.
yeah,
But
She
then
said
you
they both.
also just said, JP,
yeah.
that you have to look at a person characteristics and how often they do something. That goes back to what I said. If women keep coming out and saying that this particular person is sexually assaulting them, that means that they have a character trait that is happening very frequent, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you just actually
a
said that.
pattern of behavior.
A pattern of behavior.
Okay.
But
So that
but
means that would make that person liable to do what I just already said, correct?
but at the beginning, I told you I've only heard of one with Chris. I've only heard one or two of Chris.
Is that Rihanna?
I
I
said
didn't
that.
I didn't hear nothing.
There's been multiple women that has come
Yeah,
out to
I've only
say
heard one,
there's been
and they
multiple women
came out.
that came out to say that he has done something to them, got aggressive off drugs or something like that in a sexual behavior. So that goes back to what you just said when it comes to the frequency of this behavior. So that means that Chris Brown would be exactly just like Trey Songz because they both have a frequency of behavior.
So
Okay.
wait a second. So
Oh
hold up,
wait.
hold
Oh
on,
yeah.
hold on,
I think
real quick,
we can.
real quick.
I think we
Chris Brown just like put out? I don't know, but isn't there something out where he's like charging $1,000 for
meeting.
selfies or something
Yeah.
like that? Meet and
To
greets,
take
$1,000.
pictures, he
Yeah.
shot
So
$1,000 to take selfies.
if this is the perception of Chris Brown, why of him being potentially a rapist or sexually assaulting women, why are women lining up in droves still to meet the guy?
It's becoming to be a money grab. Now that is the part of
But they're willing to overlook the potential risk. Well, that's deep.
Well,
that's
is it
deep.
Is it that they're taking the risk, or is it that you have artists that can't control the power of themselves and the power that they have? Because just because a woman come up to either one of you and say that she wants to have some type of sexual type of, and or she's throwing herself on you, are you going to take every girl that offer herself?
I
That's
mean, depends on how she look. I mean,
that. Hold on.
but hold on. I'm just
Hey, he lied. He lied.
listen. No, stop it, man. Stop it. Every man has a biological imperative. I'm not saying there's not men who aren't disciplined. I'm just simply saying generally, men, we like to, if we could, we have all variety and all shapes and sizes, right sizes. But what I'm saying is, if a guy is in a position where he has a bunch of women lining up to just freaking meet him, I mean, why is it that she doesn't have free agency over her own conscious thinking to know, okay, I'm not going to go do this with this guy? Why is it? How is it somehow she is the victim because she made herself available for the picking?
Why is it he not a victim? Because he chose to choose and can't hold his hormones together.
Well, I don't think he's. I just think a guy is just going to act how a guy is going to act. I mean, if a girl, if she's straight, I mean, he's probably going to stab her.
So
I mean,
basically, what you're saying is a guy that wants a woman, he can't control himself.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it depends on who that man is. Most men today in this country right now, 1 in 3 men is a virgin under the age of 30 is either a virgin or has not had sex in a while. So attaining and accessing sex with women today is difficult. It's a difficult process for men. And I think a lot of women are aloof to the fact of what it takes to actually get sex. But when you're in a top tier, the high income echelon, and you got a lot of women coming at you like that. I mean, yeah, a man is like a kid in a candy store. Why not?
I wouldn't agree with that because today's world is overly sexual than any time that I've ever seen before.
And women are. Look at them. You get on Instagram, you see them.
Yeah.
They are sexually objectifying themselves, and men are not forcing them to do that. They are choosing to do that.
But you know what? In her defense, bruh, she
Let
came
me get
in 40 minutes into it. So she did say she had not heard anything before.
Yeah.
Because even when you first brought her
I,
in,
I think people like Jeffrey Epstein, Chris Brown, all these rappers, all these degenerates, I think they're all bad. I think it's all sick, and I think it all should just be burned down. Absolutely. But I'm just trying to acknowledge the reality of it. Like, women are trying to paint themselves out to be victims as if they don't have free agency to consciously choose whether or not to put themselves in a situation or not. And I think there are cases where that does happen, but you're getting now more in society, a lot of cases where it's kind of arbitrary and vague. There's no way to substantiate it. And these women are overshadowing the women that actually going through something like that. I just think it's making these. I mean, these women don't even really have an incentive to come out, because it's like, what's the point of coming out talking about it when I'm just gonna look like Keisha from up the street?
but
I mean,
like,
I understand that perspective when it comes to that, because a lot of women are afraid to come out due to the judgment, especially from social media and stuff like that. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Um, I just can't understand the whole because in my mind I don't really look at things when it comes to gender based, and it's because I believe that you still should have some form of self control. Just because a woman is dressed a certain way doesn't mean that she has to be touched, aggressively touched, or she has to give up something to somebody. That's
Yeah.
not how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I believe that both people should be able to have a form of control. But I think that when it comes to some men do lose themselves and become very much aggressive. And what I will tell you is, what you may think is a simple touch can actually be considered a sexual assault. So, for instance, a woman can be in a club. Okay, she could be dancing, and a man will walk up on this woman and begin to put his private area on her. She did not ask him to do that. She did not. She did not do any of that. But she's simply dancing. That actually can be considered sexual assault. She did not ask him to do that.
Yeah.
And
I
then if she
agree.
goes to the police, and it's going to be, well, I didn't mean to do it that way. Is she falsely accusing him, or was this a man that could not control himself?
I mean, that's clearly a man that could not control himself.
Hey,
Abs-
she's
but
saying
but
exactly.
but I mean, there are also cases even in the same setting, clubs, where women will walk up to a dude that she likes and grab his junk.
Yeah, we literally was just talking about that.
That's what I like legitimately happening. But a guy knows that if he goes to try to report that, he ain't gonna be taken seriously. And in fact, women will laugh at him. Men will laugh at him. He'll be excoriated if he even brings it up.
That's
Yeah,
actually that's
he,
very much true.
he
That's
should have. Yeah, he's considered a snitch.
Yeah, or a
So
punk. Yeah, something. Yeah, like why are you complaining about that? You should like that.
we should take assault. We should take abuse because we are men. We should take it. And again, we're the dominant ones,
Yep.
so they
Shut up and
can't.
take
They're
it.
not. Yeah, shut up and take it like that. And that's the issue. That's where you come with the false accusations. Why it's so
Yep.
easily to
Yep.
be believed because again, we are the dominant ones.
I think, man, I think what'll really have an impact, really like real talk, what'll really have an impact if women just stop sexually objectifying themselves and absolutely reject this predatorial, disgusting rap hip hop culture. If women just say, you know what, we're no longer gonna subject ourselves to this music, falling after these rappers. We're just not even gonna accept it. If more women actually set that
but
standard, like these aren't the kind of guys that these guys don't exemplify character. We're not into that. We're not into the F boys and all that stuff. And we're not going to get on Instagram and floss, take our little butt shots. I mean, I'm sure y'all are aware of it. Get on Instagram. That's all you see is, man.
but my question is like this is what I'm not grasping is why is this a one-sided thing? This is a problem on both sides. I don't see this as something that you can direct towards the women. I don't see this as something that can direct just towards the men. This is a both sides situation. That's where you guys are losing me at because
Well,
more
to
so is it looked as upon, okay, it's the woman's fault for dressing this type of way. So if this man walks up and gets sexually aggressive with her, that's her fault. That's
No, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that a woman can mitigate a lot of risk. The potentiality of that happening if she was to dress more modestly. Now, is she going to still get attention if she dressed modestly? Absolutely. But I'm telling you, the amount of attention you get versus going outside with a turtleneck and you coming outside with a transparent shirt on, your boobs hanging out, is going to be different. Absolutely different. I
Yeah,
don't think it's her fault. I'm just saying that you can mitigate the risk.
because what again, you know what type of attention you are going to grasp.
I
The
don't think they know how to distinguish the difference, bro. Sexual
but
attention and relationship attention.
they know being provocative is going to get attention.
Yeah,
Again, a man should be able to control himself, but she knows a man is visual. If she's seen first and she's liked
I
because
agree.
she's wearing,
Yeah,
that is step one. She's not looking for him to be aggressive.
yeah,
She just wants him to notice her. And what she does not understand, that type of attention from just square one, just first step, is not the attention you want to get from him, to think that, hey, he's just gonna come to me just for a conversation, ask me on a date, and
right,
we go to dinner and we
right.
start to get to know each other. That's where he's getting at with that. Like, that is when you're setting yourself up like that, he should
Yeah,
definitely control himself.
right.
But what do you expect? You can't go out like that and think the man is going to be a wholesome thinking man when
Yep,
he
so
approaches you.
yep.
see that's one-sided because so
No, here's the
this man
equivalency
does
right
not
here.
have to be wholesome.
Corey,
Oh, and
Corey,
yeah.
Corey just placed the equivalency. This is the equivalent of a woman dressing provocatively out in public. Is when you see a man wearing expensive jewelry and flashing cash. That's the same thing because you're going to attract gold diggers. You're going to attract women who don't really have your best intentions at heart. They're going to be the type of women that's going to be trying to chase a bag and finesse.
As a
If you're going
man,
out in the world like that,
you flashing the cash, you thinking all I want her to do is see me. As long as she
yep,
know I got the bag,
yep,
we can have the conversation. That's my icebreaker to get her to start talking to me.
real, yeah,
But
So
but not understanding that is what she's at. Oh, that's stability. Oh, he can buy me anything I want. Oh, I'm a run up a check. I'm gonna do this. So he's correct. That's the equivalence to it. So you're saying it's one sided. Well, it's not. We're not saying that it's all the woman's fault
Nah.
because But again, the
Yeah,
topic
because
was
to me that's what it sounds like, and it's because you're saying that if she's not modest, but he doesn't have to be modest, and she can, if she dresses a certain way, then he's thinking about sex, and if he's doing this, then like it's one sided. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Where
what I'm
okay.
saying
I
Go
is,
to the
think there
oh,
should
club.
be,
go ahead, go ahead, let her finish. I'm sorry,
I
I
think there should
apologize.
be a board of respect, and a man actually. Let's just understand this: a true man, a man knows how to control himself no matter what this woman has on. He knows how to control himself. He knows how to respect her no matter what she has on. So we can't really make excuses for a man being a pervert. I mean, that's what it's sounding like. Is you're making excuses for a man to be able to look at a woman because he cannot control his hormones. He can't control his eyes. He can't control his self. He don't have no self-control because the way that this woman is dressed. But yet you're saying that if he puts out money, that's his way to attract her. Well, maybe the way she dresses the way that she attracts him.
Yeah, but it's
But
a different. There's different forms of attraction. I mean, there's a sexual
so what?
attraction and there's a relationship attraction.
So what? But what she's looking at is for profit. Whether no matter what it is, it's still for profit. She's looking at him for profit. He's looking at her for profit.
Well,
They're
women's biological imperatives is not to have multiple sex as men are. I mean, women's imperative is to find the best guy and capitalize on that. That's their biological imperative. I mean, women are inherently hypergamous creatures. They're looking for the best, suitable, strongest, competent man. That's their sexual strategy. Our sexual strategy is to get as many women as we can get.
no, that's a boy sexual strategy. That's
Well,
not.
well, up until modern civilization today, the I mean, I'm sure you're aware of like harems of women. I mean, or pharaohs. Very powerful men in the past in history, all throughout history, has had multiple women. That's just and very few men would even be able to pass their lineage on. I mean, this has been biological evolution. Women are attracted to men of status. You can go to the clubs today and you'll see a bunch of women conjugated in one area, VIP section around like 2 3 guys, because those guys are the ones that has the status and the money. And unfortunately, it's just that's a that's just a state of observation. I mean, but I just think it's kind of, I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's one-sided when women kind of like smear men and sort of demonize men because, you know, a guy finds women attractive, but he doesn't have to necessarily sexually assault her or grape her or nothing like that, but he can still enact on his biological imperatives. Hey, I want to try to get to know her because I probably want to get her in the bed. I don't think a man should be demonized because he wants to have sex with a woman. I mean, as long as it's responsible and you practice and safe sex.
power, privilege, and wealth.
Oh, we're gonna add Corey up to the
Power,
what's happening.
Man,
power,
you got it,
privilege,
man.
and wealth. But most situations is for both of those situations is for a form of power. One is just sex and one is just money. It's a both sides. No matter how you look at this situation, both genders have to take responsibility for how they carry each situation. A woman is looking at a man for money. The same way that you saying that a woman gonna look at a man group of fellas that got a lot of money. If you go into the club or you go somewhere, the men are gonna be looking at the ladies with the sexiest outfits on, with the nicest bodies, and y'all gonna go right to them. Okay, you're not gonna go look at the girl that's dressed modest. We're not even gonna put that out there like that. Most of the men today are not doing that.
Well, you shouldn't be finding no wife in no club. I mean, you go to the club.
Yeah, the
If
club,
you are going to the club to find a wife, that's your
yeah.
first mistake.
So the club is not where you looking at for the modest female anyway.
Nah.
Because I mean, and that's just fair. I'm not saying that is right, but at the club, no woman being modest. Like again, it just
So
depends on the vibe of the club. If it's a lounge or if it's the hood rat club. But no matter what, going out to a club atmosphere, you are looking for numbers, women, fun. Other women,
Correct.
other women are going to be seen, to be hit on, and who is the highest bidder.
Right.
So you going in
And
there?
that is just what it
So
is.
once again, why matter how she dressed if you going in there for sex anyway?
It don't, you're right. It don't matter how she's dressed, but
So why
again,
is it?
It
So
does matter how she dressed.
but as
how
a
she looks subjecting you if that's what you want anyway?
but
That's what
as
you
a
want.
woman, you are a very competitive, a very competitive creature. You are going to, again, there's other women. It's a rat race. It's a rat race. So it's who's dressed the best.
They're competing against each other.
They're
Men do the same
competing.
thing though. It's the
Yeah,
exact
men
Exactly.
do the
same
same
thing.
thing. Absolutely.
Same
And actually, I
thing.
think men are worse at it though,
We got the
because
pocket full of money.
yeah, because we spend more money on cars, rims, clothes,
Right.
and go way far over. But I understand what both parties saying. Y'all saying that a lot of women are enticing these men, and that's how they get in the situation. But when you think about this, at what point do we put the blame on both parties? Because
Right.
the man is doing the same stuff. He going in there. Listen, I've done it. Put
Me
on all
too.
this expensive jewelry, get geared up, pull up in a fresh ride, just got done coming
Right.
from the car wash. This is what I'm looking for.
Haircut.
And so you hear all of that, right?
The
And so
crisp.
then when it happened, it's like, do I get blamed for that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and listen, on the flip side of, because I know it's a lot of faults on the women's side, but just speaking on this from the man's side, is he wrong for doing that? And if you say he not, then how are you saying that the woman is wrong for dressing the way she dressed? It's the same thing.
But the
Well,
woman wants the man to be as competitive as she is.
And vice versa.
She
Vice
wants,
versa.
I
you're
think
right.
depending on the setting, I think it comes down to the setting. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming out into the public and you present yourself in a flashy, opulent way and trying
As a
to
sex object.
sex object, if you present yourself out there in front of all eyes to see, how you present yourself and however you present yourself out in the world is what you're going to attract. So if you go into a club and my man wearing the whole DMX chain and flashing, I got money, this and that and third. So don't be surprised if you get finessed. Don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? You may get the chicks, but they'll do a Cardi B run on you, drug you up and
Yeah.
take your money.
If
And it's your fault. It's you are culpable for that at the end of the day because you in the setting and you're doing too much
And you set yourself out there
and you
just like the
set
woman
yourself
did.
up exactly. And,
It's
and
not
my thing is, we don't need to be victimizing neither men or women who find themselves in that predicament. That's where I'm at.
but if
Yeah.
if we go to church, if we're in church now, we're looking for the most wholesome dressed person. Like, I mean, it depends on the setting. If we're in church now, again, what type of woman are you looking for in church? What type of woman in the church is going to catch your eye? It just depends on what setting that
Oh, they
is.
dressing like that in the church nowadays too.
Thing
Real
is,
talk.
Okay, let's
you have the same problem
in
the church.
today's time, yeah, but
So we are in today's time. So I mean, we are in today's time.
Hey man, I don't know if you've been in a black church lately, man. I haven't, but shoot, they letting it loose out in the
Same.
churches today too.
You have pastors that's doing things he definitely shouldn't be doing. He's being found doing things, and
oh,
first ladies and all that. So I wouldn't even say it's the setting, it's the person. It goes
Yeah.
everything that you're trying to compare is on both sides. Has
Hmm.
nothing to do with the setting. Your
They're both
mentality
culpable.
should be
They're both responsible.
Yeah.
your mentality on how you will approach a woman. It shouldn't change whether you want her or not. Like if you're gonna want her or you're not gonna want
Oh
her.
man, that's BS. That's BS. See, that's that again, and it's not no shot to you, royalty. But honestly, when I hear a lot of women saying that,
Saying what? I
like
missed that part. What's she saying?
she said, can you repeat that last part? You said, I'm sorry.
No matter what setting it's in, how you approach a woman, it shouldn't change. Would you go in
Right
with a
there it
certain
is.
mind
There
frame?
it is.
You go with a certain
Right.
mind frame. If you go with I want to lay down with you mentality, that's gonna be your focus the entire time. Now, if you're
Hmm.
going to approach a woman that you really trying to do something with, maybe you approach her a little bit different. But if you go to every single woman looking to lay her down, you're gonna get this. If that's how
Yeah,
you go in every
But
single case,
listen, though, we have, but I'm
yeah,
just saying, as men and women, we both have two different objectives, though. I mean, we have two different objectives. It's kind of like this. It's like this delicate dance between men and women when it comes to interacting with each other. Men want something, y'all want something.
so are you saying
So
that men want sex?
I mean, in a lot of
if
cases,
in the
I'll tell you
end,
this, I'll tell you this, I'll tell you this.
oh,
Day three, I'll tell you this. If y'all going on 5 dates and she didn't, you know, if he's putting out all this money and investing in all this cost to get to know you, and she's not putting out, I mean, I'm not saying all men, but most men would be like, she playing games.
most women when
It,
they
it
know
depends on their mindset, though.
Well,
most
yeah,
women
we're not
if
talking about marriage minded men. We're talking about men who are in a club, who are there. A lot of dudes who are at the club. To my knowledge, I don't know. Maybe y'all don't different, but a lot of dudes that I know that go to the club, they ain't going for no wife.
No, they going to get it in,
Right.
unless they gay.
So when she says that you should approach a woman with the same mindset, that's a different mindset in you in that setting.
first
Like
of all the music too
you got
loud.
you on a mission.
The music too loud for me to even have the conversation,
He
hold
said the
the
music too
conversation.
loud. I know, I know.
Music,
I can't stand that music.
that's for one thing. But she got a point. It's just when she says don't no matter the setting, is I just can't. I feel you, but I'm just looking at it. The setting does really matter. Like again, I'm not trying to holler at you I'm not thinking about laying you down. And this is me. I'm not thinking about laying you down when I see you at church though.
But
Like
these chicks, I'm telling you, they dressing like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B
I don't
everywhere.
care how you're dressed when it comes to church. In my mind, I'm just like, I can't think like that at church.
Right.
But at the club, I'm not going to church
And
thinking
what
that
and what and
I'm
what
gonna
and
do
what
it
and what and what
at
do you
home.
typically hear? What do you typically hear when you try to tell a woman, respectfully, hey, perhaps you shouldn't be dressing like that because it's gonna garner a certain type of attention. What is she typically? So how does she typically respond? Oh, you trying to control me? You can't tell me what to do. And it's like,
Well,
wait, I'm just trying to give you some feedback. Like I'm literally not. I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just letting you know.
But
but how do we
if it's
feel?
tempting you, if it's tempting you because she dressed like that, that's that at that point you need to know that you need to check yourself. Uh,
Well,
because even
yeah.
okay, so let me just say this
Go
real
ahead.
quick.
My bad.
Because even when I see a woman dressed like that, it's actually it used to be appealing to me. I used to be like, man, had these all these crazy thoughts. Now it just she you
That
know what I'm
shit
saying?
Right.
It's That's, I mean, literally, that's what I'm telling you. But so
Mhm.
if you at the point where you're looking at a woman and you enticed because of the way she dressed,
Mhm.
then that's a you thing that you need to get together. And
Right.
another thing that we as men need to do, like let's just take Chris Brown for instance. You've been accused of all these things all these times. Why are you constantly putting yourself in in that position or in that situation
Exactly.
for
Yep.
that to happen to you? So
Mhm.
that tells me that he can't help himself and he can't control himself, and that he 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, he's guilty of these things that they saying he's doing. Because
Mhm.
he's unless you're just stupid, like why would you keep going and putting yourself in that same predicament?
That's
I
why
mean,
I'm not.
that's
Yeah,
dumb.
that's why I really wish that the standard applied across the board. Because in that case with Chris Brown, I would say both he and the women are guilty. Even in the
That's
case of
true.
with Nick Cannon and all these baby mamas he got, both. Okay, we got one sexually irresponsible man having multiple children, and we got like 10 irresponsible women. But we're gonna hear more smear of Nick Cannon. We're not gonna talk about the 9, 10 women that voluntarily signed up to have his baby,
Right,
knowing
right.
he's not
That's
gonna be in
that's
their life.
But
that's a
even
fact.
at the beginning, we did say that when you put up the Brittany Renner, bro, that starts with us because as the man, it takes two to tango. He has to. He should have never put himself in that because again, if I'm using her condom, then that means she may have poked a hole in it. But anything after that is up to me because it takes my sperm, it takes my lack of judgment of saying, you know what. I'ma just go up in here without protection. At some point, it is Nick Cannon. It was all Nick Cannon because as the man, as the leader, as the provider,
He,
and
but he's not a. That's what I'm saying. We using this term so loosely. And I know we gotta,
I get it. I
just for
get
the
it.
sake of,
Because it's Nick
for
Cannon.
the
I
sake.
get it. I
Uh,
get it.
People
I
like who
get it.
you got to earn that title of calling yourself a
Okay,
man.
but let's okay, let's go away from it being Nick Cannon and let's just say as a man, period. So because again, any man that's in that situation, bro, you just got to look at it as we have to be more stronger and check ourselves when it comes to that because we have to use logic. We have to use logic in that in
I
that.
just,
A man
I,
that's using logic wouldn't even be in the club.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And look, just kind of like backpedal on a little bit, and then royalty. I don't know if you want to chime in. Actually, if you want to say something now, you can say something. I'll jump in after you.
Yeah, I want to go to the logic thing, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that it's not about the gender, it's about the person. Because a man with logic wouldn't even continue to put himself in that type of situation over and over and
Exactly.
over again.
Exactly.
So once again, it goes back to the very, like when I first came up. Um, it goes down to, it's just what a man is and what a woman is. What a man and how he carries himself. He's not going to put himself in this type of in none of these type of situations, honestly. And I just wish that at some point that we come to realize that it's not a male or female thing. This is not a male and female thing, honestly. This is a both
Okay,
gender.
so yeah, I definitely agree. That's what I mean. That's why I'm trying to focus in on what I mean. I understand what could be, what should be, but what is currently today is that you do have a lot of men who are being sexually deprived because women are more hypergamous than ever before. They all chasing the bag. They're looking for the top candidate. So they overlooking the dude, the supervisor at Walmart, the dude that's working at Mickey D's. They don't want them lames. They want Pookie, right? So my thing is what is today is that if women chose to higher their standards and how they present themselves, I hear all even throughout this whole conversation, I hear what the men should do. The onus falls on the men. I keep hearing what the men should do. And listen, dudes, I'm all about accountability. We need to be accountable, absolutely. But we ain't talking about all men. Corey, you, me, JP. We ain't on here saying, yeah, men should be doing this. And generally, whenever I talk to dudes, they all on the same accord. And you get your occasional idiot, but I think that what's happening, what we seeing, what's happening today, is women are able to kind of just go out and freely do this, and for those portray themselves like this, and for those predators that are out there, those dudes are going to be lingering in the corner. You just don't know. So why even heighten that possibility?
I just, mm,
Well, go ahead, Rose.
I just, I don't know about that analogy. Being is that a predator don't really have a look, or he could be the corny dudes that sit in the corner, honestly. So and that's just 100% real. So I really can't understand that one. But you can go ahead, Corey.
No, I was gonna say if you really think about it, and especially if you look at it from a spiritual standpoint, the man is the head of the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who should take more responsibility?
We always gonna be the ones that because we are the head.
Yeah, and if we don't take that headship, and we don't take responsibility, then I mean, maybe that's why it's like that. Maybe we need to be held accountable to a higher degree. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just now sitting here thinking about that because that's real. I mean, we always preach that, right? Especially me and you, Neil, for sure. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure JP, you say the same things. And you're right. The man is the head of the woman. So we gotta, as being the head, we have to learn how to quit putting ourselves in that position. And when a woman come at us, I'm talking about a man, not a boy now. And when a woman is out there doing that or come at us that way, then we need to check her
Well,
immediately.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like just like
yeah.
Ro- just like
Immediately, yeah.
just like royalty said though, she's one that does not, idolize the celebrity part. So That's one person as a woman that doesn't. But then you have the weak men, like he said, of the Nick Cannons of the world, who idolize the lifestyle of these celebrities that, again, that can't take accountability to lead. But then we have the weaker males that have nothing going on in life, that's not a celebrity, that they try to portray that, and they're leading the women down on a straight stairway to hell, and they're opening up to those type of men. So then when it is messed up with that, man, that's just a cycle that they continue to go down.
Right.
And then once they get one man like that, it end up, it's another one, it's another one, it's another one, it's another one. And but with us, once you say us three of men that preach that over and over and over, we need more influencers like that, that's out here speaking that, and not only just speaking it, but they're seeing it being done. Words are certain thing, and one thing that I don't put myself on is words. I like to see action. When I see a man walk a certain way, when I see a man move a certain way, when I look at his actions, that's when I know he's real. A man can tell me anything he want. He could tell me something nice when he feel good, and he could tell me something mean when he feel mad.
But again, man, this is my problem. Like, I'm trying to keep this balance. And look, I don't know. I know y'all gonna keep coming at me, but I'm seriously trying to keep this balance. Like, I hear everything about how the man should critique, the man should be the head. I hear that, and I'm with that 100%. My thing is, what responsibility do our women have? Yeah, the man should be the head if the woman wants to follow.
They have. I can answer that directly. The responsibility that the woman have is to follow the man. If he's
right. Now today, go ahead.
So let me say. So when we lead them in the wrong direction, and then we get the wrong results, then we have to think, man, because see, listen, if women dressed like that to entice men, and we didn't buy into it, would they continue dressing like that?
Exactly.
If the majority, if the majority of men, man, if a woman was to go into a bar right now and say, "Look, I want to have sex. Who want to have sex with me?" A bunch of dudes, everybody in that damn bar is gonna jump on like, "I do."
I know, because you're idiots. That's the.
But if a man was to go into the bar and say the same thing, everybody gonna look at him crazy. It's so much easier for a woman to get access to sex as opposed to men. Now, I'm not saying that that's. I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying that with that reality out there, that sex is not as attainable for men as it is for women. I just think a lot of dudes, you know, they giving it into their urges because they're seeing these women out here tantalizing. I'm like, man,
that mindset right there is the reason why we're caught up in false accusations, because the sexual desire and thoughts. That's why we keep getting. If we stop letting that be the reason that we jump on it, they can't falsely accuse us. Have you ever falsely accuse a man that never freaking even approached her, touched her at all? You've never heard of that. He had to engage somehow for her to get that much, whether it was consensual or not, for her to make a false accusation. I've never heard. Now, correct me if y'all have heard anything like this, but a woman that has never interacted with a man but blames him for sexual assault, and he'd be like, "I ain't never met that woman a day in my life." We fall victim into that. Who wants to have sex with me? A million guys say me. That's how she get the train ran on her. So now for her to say they raped me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to what Corey said, it takes us. When she says who wants to have sex with her, it should be crickets in the room.
I just think in order for us to protect women, women have to fall they have to fall under the authority of men. But today, with this mantra of "I'm single, I'm independent, and I don't need no man," the perverse philosophy, ideology that's just completely infecting women's mind, and with the rise of single mothers and all this stuff, I I listen, and I'm fair game with it. We can examine the faults and the ailments of men and how we falling short all the time. We can do that till the cows come home. All I'm asking is, if we're dealing with a group of women who do not want to submit to the leadership of men, and they're doing their own thing. In fact, you can't even criticize them, and they can leverage the damn judicial system at you if they feel like they've been violated. What can you do?
You know what, Neil? I got a question, and I'm not lying to you, bro. I
What up?
just thought of this during this conversation, and I got to check myself today.
Hmm.
So can't nobody say, "Well, you said first." I'm saying what I'm saying right now. If you think about that, we say that, and I've said it 100 times too, that the women need to, follow under the man's subjection. So, do you think they doing that right now?
I think that most of the women are subjugated. Excuse me. I think most of the women are following a very small percentage of degenerate men.
I don't think so. I think we got it backwards. I think they
Yeah.
following exactly what we want. We are leading them
In
to
a
do
sense,
what we want them to do, and they doing it.
yeah.
But Corey, they ain't even wearing natural hair.
Because
Listen,
y'all,
because we
y'all,
like
Because,
it.
because
If we,
we're
listen,
That's
if
what
we
we
stop-
always said that.
listen. I know, but listen, bro. I'm telling you, I got a different revelation today. If we stop as the head, we are the head, and I think we missing that, man. I got a different message today. If from today on, we are the head, right? And we push that, and we push it, and we push it. So if we the head, and we want them to do these things, and they doing them, then they're following our lead. They're being submissive to that. And
and,
then when they do it, we mad.
yeah,
I'm speaking overall. I'm not speaking about everybody because I'm not living that way no more. But when I was, that's exactly what I wanted. And
well,
it gave me what I wanted.
and it's too late because now you've put that in the atmosphere to so many women. So when we change up, now it's easy for them to say we don't know what we want.
Okay. So let me ask both of y'all: are y'all saying that there are more men pushing this narrative of degeneracy that women are following than there are men of character?
Frank,
So
don't say nothing else to me, dude. Shut up.
Oh man, who is this dude? Who
He a
is this?
clown, a little
it's
girl.
Oh,
so are we not indirectly pushing that because we were looking for the woman with the big butt. So if they ain't had a big butt, they wanted to, now they getting the BBL.
Yeah, but you know why they're going to get them big butts? Because we like them.
Exactly. So
okay.
now
Hold up,
the
hold up,
nice
hold up, hold up,
breasts.
hold up, hold up,
So the
hold up.
big breasts, they got look, they got the mosquito
But
bites with
that
the
was pushed in rap. But that was pushed in. That was only being
and
pushed in the rap culture, though.
exactly. But then you have people who adopt that. We
Do
don't
you think it's majority of men who subscribe to that, to pushing that? That's the question I need y'all to answer. Do y'all think it's more men pushing this narrative that we should all just be degenerates and do whatever we feel?
tell me at what point in your life did you like flat asses?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm pre-genetically disposed to looking at some little something.
Exactly. So
Don't
you are not you
hey man,
attracted
hey, that's genetics, man. You can't even talk about
you
that. Come on
attracted
now.
to that. So you're not going to so if the
I
woman got
wasn't social. Well, hold up. I wasn't socially conditioned to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was, but
so just
I'm
like
just
what
saying.
you say. So now it may not be a woman that's not dressed provocative, but if it's three girls and all of them got if one of them all three there's three girls, two of them got flat asses, but one of them got a fat ass.
I know, but how
Flat
many
ass.
dudes you know? How many dudes you know that's really out there saying you like BBLs? I like looking at them. Honestly, I wouldn't mind touching a couple of them. If I wouldn't marry. But my thing is they those BBLs, they're dangerous. I mean, just the whole process alone is dangerous. And they after a few 10 years with them things on, their whole body start to deteriorate.
But not saying that we like the BBLs. You like a fat Jeanette, you like a naturally fat butt. Not
But
every
women
woman
took it to another
has been
level.
blessed. She has not been blessed with that. So
they
knowing
took it
that
to another
that's what
level.
you like and other men like that, she has to compete. She's a woman that wants to compete because why? She's looking for to find that man to be stable with, to be the provider.
But how many men do you hear out there in the public saying, "Man, girl, go get that BBL, go get that, go risk your life and get under the knife to
They're
try
not
to."
they're not saying that. They're just not approaching them because they ain't got no fat ass.
I'm saying in your
They're
own
silently rejecting
but
them.
bro, even in your own social circle, people you talk to, your homies or whatever the case, how many of your friends talk about? I can't. I don't have anybody that I know personally that said, "Man, I love a girl with a BBL." I do not.
Not a BBL, but you like a
Oh,
fat.
Corey, you muted, man.
What is a BBL, man?
A Brazilian butt lift when they go get this surgery done, and they
You know
booty
what?
like ginormous, and
You're not
and it falls off of them like after 2 years.
you're not saying that I like BBL. You're saying I
Hold up,
like
now we're going to.
you say I like fat butts. So again, we're not saying we like BBL, but to
Yeah,
want
we said we like long hair too, and they start wearing weaves.
so we said that means we said it. Well, that's not we're just not
See what
saying
I'm
it.
saying, man?
When
It's
we
like you absolving all. It's like you absolving all responsibility. Okay, if I say I like natural long hair, that don't mean go to the local beauty store and go get yourself some $6 weaves and start taping it onto your hair and portraying something. How about you just start nurturing your hair, managing your hair, brush it out, keep it cared for, and then over time it'll be what I like. But nobody said to go add the accessories. And women, they take what men say and they accentuate it. They pretty much they interpret it in their own way that I'm going to maximize what men want, but I'm going to take it to the nth degree.
Neil, so how
But
many
when we
times
agree with when we respond to it the way they want you to, then that's saying do it.
When we respond to it by wanting to have sex with them or marry them,
Either way.
it's a
let's
difference though, right?
Yes, there's a big difference. It depends on what the woman want.
Well, so really depends on what the woman accept. Because if you're going to accept, if you're going to allow the man to have sex with you, without requiring marriage, then that's on you.
Yeah,
so
but I'm just saying. I thought you were speaking on the fact that they do these things, like because you might say, "Well, I like nice hair," and then they go buy a weave. But then when she go buy the weave, you be like, "Oh, that look nice." So
Yeah.
that's the same thing as telling her to do it. I
so
mean,
let's
now she's gonna go get 4 or 5 weaves.
And that's
let's
the
flip it on
problem.
the
Like,
man side. Flip it on
huh?
the man side, right?
Uh-huh.
If we know a woman wants stability, she wants a man that knows she can take care of. If don't you push yourself every day to be more in a financial state than you are now? Aren't you doing? If a woman said, "I don't want no broke dude," aren't you now pushing yourself as a man to keep uplifting your financial status? Aren't you doing that?
But
As a
I,
man, we do the same thing though.
I
Like
can't
we do the
compare
same.
that to weave. I can't compare that to weave.
Well, we're not saying that's the weed, but again, that we're enhancing ourselves. We're and just because it's the knowing that's a good thing to do, we're still better in us. They feel like that's what to better themselves. Again, appearance, self-care, they feel like it's self-care, bro. Like
It's
that
not. It's mutilation.
with,
So I have a question.
BBLs.
Have any one of you guys ever bought weave for any of your women?
I
No.
have not purchased weed ever.
Hell no.
I have not ever purchased weed. That's if
No.
that's your
Man,
self-care, that's
no.
your self-care, you take care of that.
I think
Like,
men have been saying the same thing they've been saying for
yeah,
years in the barbershops, on
I've
the
never,
basketball courts, in the locker room. We like natural hair. But
yeah,
women don't want to listen to us when we say that. And they like, okay, well, they like long hair. So instead of just taking the time out to do the work, let me just take a shortcut right here to this beauty supply and get this hookup with this 19-inch extensions, whatever. And I just think they take it and they exacerbate it. They make it worse than what we initially asked for. And I hear what you're saying, Corey. You're saying, how did the men respond to it? Yes, a lot of men are going to respond favorably, I think, because women can't handle the truth. Because if you say, go take that crap off, you look terrible, she going I mean, how she going to respond to that?
embarrassment and rejection.
I didn't say that to my girl a couple times. I'm like, you going to take that off.
Absolutely.
You look bad. You look real bad. I mean, but I'm just a different kind of guy. I'm gonna be direct with her because I love her.
Yeah, I've never purchased
I'm
weed.
gonna say no. Take that off. You look like a clown. You look. We're not going in public out here because wherever you go, you represent me.
No, I didn't accept the women with that. I mean, I have engaged in certain kind of relationships with that, but I knew that it was a very temporary thing.
There you go.
If I consider her somebody that I'm with or something like that, I don't like that stuff. It look a mess. Um,
And it's shed.
yeah, it's just look a mess. I mean, me, I'm not attracted to that.
Yeah.
And I've never, you know, and if you can't grow hair, that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's somebody that like those low cuts. There's somebody
There
that
you
like
go.
your hair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me personally, I'm not attracted to that. But that
Yeah.
don't mean that some people ain't. Just like, and no disrespect, I'm not even trying to be funny. Some men like big women. They like fat women.
Right.
I got
Right. Right.
I mean,
That's
I
that's
hope
deep.
he ain't watching because he's gonna get me, but I got a cousin like that. He's attracted to big women.
It's always the skinny ones.
Yeah,
Always
yeah. Oh, he's skinny.
small guy.
Oh man. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's really
But
as
but
being
the
a
point,
small guy, you see bigger women always approach you. Now you look like the number 10.
is somebody for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
For those who can't grow hair, they got they got men that like that too. Just not me.
But back to what I was saying, man. My whole point, my whole premise is, look, I
Tired of
believe that there are cases where women have been raped and sexually assaulted.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly, I'd be a fool to deny that that doesn't occur. All I'm saying is, what consequences are there for women who are maliciously leveraging such a heinous allegation against a man when she's doing it purely out of spite?
I
Because
think
that happens too.
she should go to prison.
She should go to prison.
Right.
She should go to prison.
What do you think, Royalty?
I believe in prison as well. I believe that her and anybody that existed to help her with this lie deserves some form of punishment.
All the way down to the prosecutor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All the way down to the prosecutor. They listen, man. The prosecutors, look. How is it that you sending these men to prison and letting the women get away with it? Then you are a part of the problem.
Yep.
Then they need to be punished too. But until we attack it all the way from the bottom to the top, it's going to keep happening, which I'm sure it
Yeah.
is. But I'm just saying. But the way to avoid all of it is that men have to take the lead the way we're supposed to, and that's something I think that we are failing to take responsibility for.
Because
Yeah.
we have daughters. And it starts with raising our daughters correctly. And
Mhm.
then they having friends that they influence the correct way. And the next generation is going to be the most important one because right now it's going to shit.
So
But
help me understand this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
but you're right. And when because every time we Neil here, the man has to take the lead, you can see that he's jerking like he got hemorrhoids. So like
What? Hold up.
you see him stand up like so we gotta wrap it up in a bow to like listen.
Oh, you gonna come at me like that? All
The
right.
man gotta take the lead. He here.
Oh, you gonna come at me like that on my show? All right, I got you.
It's like so we have to take
That's
it
cold blooded.
So when we say standing up and being a man, also deal, we have daughters that we have to start with also of those are the next generation of women that we are teaching because after a while, bro, after a certain age, when these women become grown, bro, they stuck in their ways.
I'm
Bro.
telling you, man. Look, all I'm saying is what I see what's happening on the spiritual front right now. I think what's happening right now is exactly what took place in the Garden of Eden. Women are being wholly seduced, beguiled by society, by some of these ideologies, these evil movements, and I think women they're choosing not to submit to men, and I think because in part the men are weak, and in another part is because women believe they don't need men.
But we keep biting that apple.
But do you I don't know. Maybe listen. I admit I'm kind of weird, but maybe I'm not making it clear. They are submitting to us.
Yeah,
Kind of.
because we pushing the wrong shit.
There
That's
you
what I'm
go.
saying. We disagree with
Pushing the
that's
wrong
what we
shit.
disagree at. We disagree with that because y'all still didn't even answer my question too. By the way,
I
I
will.
said
I answer directly. Give
I
it. Give
said okay. So the question is there a majority of men pushing this whole go get a weave, go dress like Cardi B, go do all this crazy
I
thought
said
culture? You think it's more
indirectly.
men pushing thought culture than there are men like such as you and I and
absolutely,
men today?
Yes,
No,
absolutely for a
indirectly.
fact.
definitely
Yes,
not.
indirectly.
What is
Definitely
the
not
Not
proof?
indirectly.
directly doing
What is
it,
the proof?
Okay,
Give me
the
the proof.
proof.
indirectly.
The proof is 75% of our children are born out of wedlock.
Mhm.
How that
Uh,
happen?
because 20% of the men are responsible for the lion's share of the children.
Okay, and now what about the other 75 that's pumping?
30% of the men are married. 50% of the men are single and don't have children. So
Right,
majority of women are lining up and chasing after a small percentage of
absolutely.
men.
But that wasn't the question.
So, but those are the men. Those are the men that's perpetuating the baby mama culture. Is that small percentage?
Is what small percentage?
It's that small 20% of men that most women are lining up and flocking for.
So you think that most men are looking for a virtuous woman?
I think that most men would pray to find a virtuous woman, but they're not going to find one.
Well, we got to go back to this. First of all, I don't believe that most men know what a virtuous woman is.
Yeah, because it don't exist no more. You
No,
ain't
it.
even got no
I
examples.
got one at the house right now, but
Okay,
it do
well,
exist. But listen, most men are not looking for a virtuous woman because first of all, to start with, most men don't know what a virtuous woman is. He's looking for a freak.
Yeah.
That's why they at the clubs. That's why they ride around in these fancy cars all day long. And you got a very few, and even the people that's living legit lives, they want freaks. Let's just be real with it, man. They want freaks. Because if you think about this, if they didn't, it wouldn't be no bunch of babies running around here. Because it take two to tangle. She didn't just look at you and get pregnant.
but it's not most men that's having most of the children, though. This is a small, we just gave out two examples. It's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, where most women are chasing after a small percentage of men,
And
and the guys that do not have the access to sex or women, they're overlooked. They're overlooked. 95%
So,
of men are practically invisible to women. Ask
Because
royalty right now
but
how many
because
dudes
they don't have
approach her.
money though.
Ask
They don't have
royalty right now how many dudes approach her. How many dudes in her DMs? How many dudes reach out and try to contact you or speak to you, interact with you on a daily that you totally ignore?
many.
and that's before
I
even the
ignore many
YouTube.
for one. I ignore many
And
for
you,
one, and for
well, there you
two,
go. You just
this
said it.
goes back.
Many.
This goes back to what you said earlier. Okay, when you said that most men are thinking about what?
Sex.
But
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
They
yeah.
definitely cannot be looking for
Yes.
a virtuous woman when that's what you're saying that most men are thinking
No, I
about.
said there are two different. I said, listen, when a man, there are two different strategies when you're pursuing a woman for sex. Excuse me. There's a different strategy when you're pursuing women for sex, and there's a different strategy when you're pursuing a woman for marriage.
Yeah, but
Now,
you also said that majority of men are looking for sex.
well, yeah, that's our
So that means
biological imperative. Is
you're not looking for a virtuous woman is the if the first thing that you're looking for is
right.
sex from her.
wait a
So
second.
there's no way.
Hold on, but I don't agree with that because you can vet out a wife and want to get to know a woman and
You're
2-3 dates in because you have sex with her doesn't mean you're not looking for a virtuous woman.
a virtuous woman is not having sex with you in 2 or 3 days.
I,
Well, okay, is that the Steve Harvey rule or what?
no, that's the God rule.
That's how it's supposed to be.
God
Okay,
rule.
well, where is that scriptural? Hold on. Where is that scriptural? Where is that scriptural?
Well,
I'm
I mean, look, okay. First of all, I don't. With me, I don't do all the scriptures and all that.
Okay, then where is that? Where is that? Where did you get that from? And I'm not saying 3 days. Okay, it can be. I'm just
Okay,
saying
okay.
where is it? Where is it set? Where is it written in stone?
Mhm,
Where a woman she can leverage a dude to pay for this, pay for that. Come
mhm.
on here, do this, do that, do that. String them along, and 9 times out of 10, most women just gonna just not give them sex at all because I did a few lives about this earlier. They're doing now they're doing these foodie calls, which I don't know if y'all aware of, but women just going on dates just simply because they want the meal. But damn, I lost my thought. I
No,
lost my
run
thought.
that question back. You asked me about where is that at in the Bible?
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Where?
where is it written in stone at that if a man is putting out, a woman should not put out as well?
I didn't say that.
But why
Nobody
he
That's
has
said
to put
that.
that's
out the,
that's
why
the
does she have
basis of my question.
my question is why is her put out has to be sex though?
Because that's I
That's
mean
what
Is
he's
that the
looking for.
only thing that you're looking
that's
for this virtuous woman that you say that you're looking for?
no,
You
because
should
if
be
you're looking
looking,
for if you're looking for a wife, you're still gonna have sex on your mind. You just
yeah,
have a different
eventually, but
calculus
that
in
should
your
not be
mind and
what
how
you're
you're
doing.
vetting and approaching that woman.
Yeah, but that should not be what you're paying for things for.
But
So you're
says who? That's what I'm saying. Says who? Is this something
because
that is? But I'm
you
saying is
just
this.
now said that if you go and you take a woman out on dates, right, and you
Yeah,
doing things for her, there has to be some type of payout for you as well. Why does the payout has to be sex though?
I'm not saying that
It
there has
does
to be.
depend.
I'm not saying that there has to be. I'm just saying that a woman should be at least she should at least be aware that that's on that man's mind.
Why?
I mean because
Why
it
is that?
is.
But you want a virtuous woman though. A virtuous woman is going to make you wait until she's ready to until she feels though that
Until
it's
she
time.
marry you,
Yeah, that's what a virtuous woman is waiting until
at
you guys
least
are married.
engaged.
So she doesn't
No,
owe you actually
That
anything
does not. But that
technically.
does.
How?
But I'm saying that does not exist.
Okay,
We're
so
not.
basically you're
You're talking
It
about.
exists.
so
Y'all
basically
talk.
you're asking for
It
fornication.
doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in a
It's very rare,
as
but it
as a
exists.
majority. Yeah, it's very very super rare.
But who set the bar?
So you're asking for fornication.
Women set the bar because nowadays they're giving it
Uh,
out. They're giving it out now without requiring any sort of
well,
commitment.
because that's what
well,
we want.
because
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Women control access to sex.
they do.
Even if that's what we want, they still have to. They have to grant that consent to
And so
give
does
us
the
said
man though.
sex.
The man
But
got to grant it too.
they
Yeah,
begin
but we're entering into them.
but
We
they
going
begin
into their bodies.
they begin to go into panic mode when they feel like they have held out for so long and they are going to lose the bag because that is what the man expect the end result to be sex. So they now they fall into that to give him sex. That's the only reason why too.
Why
I
is
don't
that
think
the
so.
end result? That's what you're losing. Why
I
is
think
sex the end result?
I think most women nowadays are following the Steve
Hold on.
Harvey 90
Am I,
day rule.
I got a quick question. Am I taking this wrong?
Have y'all seen royalty? She basic with too many
She
standards.
basic AF with too many standards.
Frank,
Am I reading
Frank,
that wrong or not?
Read
Frank.
it.
I'm basic with too many standards. So basically, you want me to be, just you want me to be what extra? You want me to do what every other girl does? I doesn't. I don't do that. I don't do those types of things,
She
love.
basic as fuck.
I'm not understanding what he's saying.
So
What you trying to?
what he's saying is, have we actually seen her? Because she does not have.
I don't have weave. I don't have a BBL, and I'm natural. So basically, he wants me to be like what everybody says is considered
Oh,
extra.
So,
And I have
that's
but
none of those
has
perfect.
he
things.
seen
Oh,
you?
he was trying to say that she don't deserve to have standards.
She, yeah, for the way that she's talking, like,
Hmm.
and my question is, has he seen you before, or is he acting that because your camera is not up right now? That's my
Oh,
question.
he
Like,
evidently ain't seen her
have y'all
because
seen her? Because
royalty is extremely pretty.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out, is he
Once
basing
again,
that?
a man looking at looks for, and I have a lot of intelligence. So he not even looking at thinking, he not even listening to what I'm saying in my mouth. He's worried about looks. I'm basic. He not worried about what's coming out of my mouth.
No, he just wanted attention. He's a
That's it.
clown. I'm from Detroit. I don't care where you from, dude. What you don't know who you talking to.
But
What about you from Detroit?
you're
What
not,
that mean to me?
you're not the
Please.
Cardi, you're not Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm just saying, y'all.
Not
I
talking about
mean,
that walk, and you're not.
there are women out here today that are just openly saying they finessing men, and they can do it because they can. They know there's a bunch of men who are not getting access to sex because, like I said earlier, women are overlooking basic average dudes. Even average women overlook average dudes. They're like, no, I don't need to go with a guy that's making $41,000 a year when I look like this. So they're overlooking just basic plain average dudes. That's why we're not seeing any sort of building of families today, because um, women are, they kind of been told this fallacious lie that they can have it all. You can work, have a career, do this, and you can go into the husband store and pick a man out the off the shelf, pick a husband off the shelf. And so I think, and with this whole notion of going out on dates and being able to finesse dudes out of money and blah blah blah, if they weren't just so boldly out there and saying it and proud of it, I I don't know. I wouldn't I wouldn't feel the need to have to cause sound the alarm about it. But now these women are like, they're not hiding it. They're saying it. This is what we're doing. I mean, you got Brittany Winter, the little clip I just played earlier. She said, look, quickest way, finesse an athlete because athletes are dumb. Now you got other women teaching other women how to finesse men.
Because we just some easy targets.
Well, yeah, of course. If you get finessed by any chick, you, in my opinion, you deserved it because that's your fault. I mean, because you come on now. But I'm simple. But what I'm saying is, when you pushing, when you pushing this narrative out there, and you don't really have that much. You don't even have that much blowback from it. You don't even have like if there was a brigade of women standing up objecting to that. No, that's not what you should be teaching women. No, that's not right. Then I'd be like, okay, so there's an equilibrium out there. At least there's a balance. But right now, you don't hear many men or women objecting to women finessing men. You don't hear no outcry for that, because it's like, shut up. Why are you talking about that? It all falls back onto the man. Like, why are we talking about women? We need to focus on the man. What he need to do.
I get what you're saying.
And my thing is, yeah, if you, like I said, you get finesse, you a fool, you an idiot, you deserved it. That's your fault. But okay, now we can address the woman. Now, what are you doing out there finessing in the first place? Where'd you learn this?
From
The
us.
same way y'all finessing sex. No difference. It's the same thing.
Most men are not getting sex today. That's the facts.
They not?
No.
What men are you?
Oh my gosh! Come
Neil,
on, man, y'all tripping.
Hey,
Y'all
I'm asking. I didn't know that.
y'all tripping. One in three men under the age of 30 right now is either a virgin or has not had sex in a year.
Whoa.
Yes, and it's like, and that's just, this is not just one study.
You talking about like down to 2 years old or what? Like,
huh?
Under 30?
No. The survey, they surveyed men between the ages of 18 and 30.
It's too many avenues of you can even pay for it. So I
that them stats got to be wrong.
really
Listen, an entire sex industry is predicated off of men not having sex. You got pornos, strip clubs, all this stuff out here. If this stuff wasn't, if men were out there actually getting sex, like what y'all think, the porn industry wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar corporate industry.
Yes, it would, man. Because listen, I was going to
or OnlyFans.
I was going to strip clubs all the time and was getting it all the time.
Yeah, because that's, like I said, this is typically men are attracted to women. We like how they look, we like how they talk, we like, I mean, even if you're in a relationship, whatever, you're still going to have a desire to see women. But I'm saying, as far as having sex, men are not getting that access to sex because women now, they have these unrealistic high expectations on what a man should have, what criteria that man should fit before she even entertains him.
So you're saying broke niggas ain't getting no ass?
No, absolutely. And when broke dudes in the eyes of many women are typically average men making between $41,000 a year, because that's what the average man makes in this country.
I don't know where those statistics are coming from, because the world is so
blackdemographics.com.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Blackdemographics.com.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. When he first said that didn't sound right to me. But when you really think about it, so JP, you said something that made sense too. You said broke man.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm just going by from my experience. And
higher echelon men are getting most of the sex.
Yeah,
that's what I said in the first place.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
If you really,
and most of the women are flocking towards the higher echelon men.
When he's saying that, that's what I'm hearing. When he's saying that most of the men that's not getting any sex, and then he's saying that with the certain caliber that they're looking at, that's all I'm hearing. That is their standards and the caliber of man that they're looking for. It's like, okay, but then this society, what you don't realize is you're faking it till you making it, and whatever that the world sees, they believe. So if you are portraying like on social media or anything that you got money, you doing this and this, if you look the
That's why.
part,
Yep.
dress the part,
Yep.
he's gonna get it.
That's
And then
why
when he
dudes.
get
Yep.
it, and then she find out he's broke, he's not getting it
That's
anymore.
why dude.
I can
Yeah. That's
see
what
it. I'm not
exactly why
saying
dudes are
At least
I'm
give
not.
fronting.
me one time.
I'm not saying for sure the stats are right, but I can see it more now. But that just seems,
Hey, it's more
man,
than one study.
that's sad. I mean,
I
I
can't
mean,
look. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, that's why these dudes. You
I
see
got
more and dudes. You see more and more dudes getting online fronting. They fronting hardcore nowadays.
what you
I
saying, Royalty?
gotta get up in the morning. Gotta get up at 5.
Ah, damn. Okay, I appreciate you coming on, Royalty.
Yeah, y'all know my days are long. All right, see y'all
Yeah, I
later.
know.
All right.
Appreciate that. Yep, yep.
Peace out.
Peace out.
No,
But yeah,
I think that men, even the ones that's fronting, they getting it. They just might want to get it from something different. You know what I'm
man, they
saying?
Yeah, I
simping.
think he's talking about the
Those dudes are
caliber of
simping
women.
hardcore. They the ones. Those the dudes that's paying the rent and paying the bills and taking her, transport her everywhere, paying for her trips, and they ain't getting none. They ain't getting nothing.
From nowhere.
No, even
Oh man, I ain't
what's
never
the
heard of it.
The old guys?
I was just about to say I was about to say that. What are they called? What are they
He
called?
said 30. I think he's over maybe some 300-year-olds. I don't know. That's
Oh
Yeah,
crazy.
no,
like
no, no,
30.
no. This is no. I can send. Look,
Is this high
man.
schoolers getting it
And
in
look,
now?
this is more than one
Middle
place I done
school.
read this. But I was about to. What do you call those dudes? The older guys that
Sugar daddy?
sugar daddies. Yeah, sugar daddies. You know how the exorbitant amount of money they got to pay to get some?
But they're not 30.
No, I'm not talking about that segment of me. I'm talking about even sugar daddies. They gotta cash out.
Well, that's only because now they're only looking for to feel young again. They just want to have eye candy. And the thing about it is they just want to be seen with something just fine and
But
young.
the point is the price to be seen with something young. They have to display this upper echelon caliber type of man in order for the women to even be attracted to him.
But they don't
But,
have nothing to
Berber
spend
got a
their money
point
on.
too.
That's why. They have
Berber got a point too. Look at how many women are taking care of broke men.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, according to the
Ain't
stats,
no
64% of black men in the middle class.
64%.
Yep. And honestly, black men only make, I mean, the average black man in this country make $41,000 a year. And the average black woman in this country make $37,000 a year. So
What's the middle class number now?
I think it's between, you talking about like how much it is?
Money? Yeah, how much money?
So yeah, middle class is like lower middle class is like 41 excuse me, like 35,000 to like 50,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that's easy to say then. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
who not making $35,000?
Yeah, but the even the average women are overlooking those dudes. They're like, look, even though I'm making my little simple $30,000, $37,000 a year, the average women are even they're even conflating what they can potentially get. They think just because a dude who's making X amount of money busts them down, they conflate it in their mind. Okay, this is my new level now. Now, because he had sex with me. Now these are the type of guys I have access to when they don't even know that those type of dudes is just run through them and then toss them to the side. They ain't trying to wife them up. So even the average girls are overlooking just the average guys. That's why you don't. I mean, a woman ain't checking for no manager at Walmart
But
or
the
working at a car wash or something like that.
even the guy that drives the forklift at a Walmart warehouse, he makes 35 at least.
They ain't checking for him.
Like at least 35. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about 25, $26 an hour.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
But the average black, so I'm saying the average black woman in this country make $37,000. I think it's like, I don't know. Last time I checked, it was like $38,000 a year. So they even making less money than the men, but they still requiring that man, he has to, like I said, he gotta he gotta bring the package. He gotta fit the criteria because they're falling in line with this whole movement of get a bag, get the bag. They
Yep.
all jumping on board on this train. My thing is, okay, look, it's okay. Certain women qualify for that. I got it, but some of y'all need to take a hard look in the mirror, and I'm gonna
I
give her a little courtesy slap for that.
I ain't even gonna lie, man.
I'm
When
just
this
telling.
conversation first started, I didn't even know it was gonna go here. Like
Well,
that,
I mean,
but those
but
right
it
there
comes
say
back
this
down to
gonna
the
be real
consequences,
good.
man. It comes back down to the consequences, I think, and even like what we said from the beginning, man. I just think that there needs to be an equilibrium of consequences. Do the predators, the rape, the rapists, and all them that they need. Like I said, my opinion. If I can have it my way, Thanos snap, and it'll be my way. All the rapists, all them dudes that was actually guilty, they'd be killed or castrated. That's if it was my way.
So you
But
saying if the woman lied, she should get the same punishment?
no, I don't think. I think she
I
should
think
face
she
some
should.
jail time.
Heck, no. If he should be, she should be too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now,
Okay,
I
well,
agree with that.
if
I
he's
planned on
found
being quiet, but I
guilty,
can't be quiet no more.
if he's found guilty, that's his
damn, that's
punishment.
cold, Corey.
If that is going to be his
Let's
fate,
go.
The
if
truth,
you
man.
find out she's lying and he could have lost his life,
Yeah.
what punishment does she? Yeah, like
Technically, let me take that back. Let me take that back.
Mm.
If she lied on him, if he was just say, I'm just making up a number. If he facing 30 years for the crime and she lie on him and get caught, she should be facing 60 years.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, I can get on board with that.
And that's
60
crazy.
years, she done. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
look what you try to do to an innocent man. He should have one up on you now. Now you got to face 60.
right.
Because look what you did. Do you know, man? Listen, you can, like you just said earlier, JP, you can literally ruin somebody's entire life with that.
Your own
Even just
family will look at you
if you
differently.
say it about him and people just think it, like that could ruin your life.
Your own family will look at you differently.
Everybody, man, they don't want you around the kids no more. I'm
Nope.
so sorry if you accused of it, you can't come over here no more.
There you go.
And,
See what I'm
and
saying?
listen, and I'm sorry about your luck,
Right.
but you can't come around here
Yep.
because you've been accused, and I don't know if you did it or not. Now, if I really, really, really
you
know
go.
you, that's different.
Right.
But
Now,
man, I gotta know
right.
you real good for you
Now,
to be
what
able
does
to.
that sound like to you? What does that sound like? That sound like that man, just by a mere accusation, does not have due process. You are guilty until proven innocent. It ain't the other way around for you.
No, it's not. It's not.
Unfortunately.
Not. And I used to, again, man. I know I keep saying it, man. Up until this conversation, I really understand why, man. We should be held to a higher standard because we are in charge. We are the head.
leaving.
Listen. If we are the head, we are in control.
Okay, let me give y'all a scenario. So there was a situation on a college campus with this girl and this dude. They knew each other as classmates, whatever. Anyway, the guy sees the girl at the party. They went to a little college party. They both get drunk. He's getting ready to leave. She's suggesting that they go back to his dorm. He was kind of reluctant, but eventually he agreed. They went to the dorm and they had consensual sex. The next day, the woman woke up. She went down to the school and she complained that she made a complaint that she was sexually assaulted. The boy he was immediately expelled. They had to do a whole case. So basically, and I don't know where it stands today, but that his whole entire reputation was smeared. So what about in that scenario right there?
What about it? What you asking?
So what I'm asking is, in that scenario, if both parties were voluntarily intoxicated and they voluntarily consented to sex, should that woman have the right to go down there and leverage that accusation against him?
No.
And if not, what consequence should she face?
Whatever consequences he was going to face. So that's called rape. So whatever rape calls for in that city, she should be charged times 2 for that.
So back to the higher standard then. What sort of moral higher standard should that man have set in that particular situation?
He shouldn't have had himself in that situation in the first place because
Okay.
he's a man.
All
He's
right.
called to be the head.
Right.
Right. So
Okay.
he shouldn't have even had himself in that situation. So unfortunately, a lot of times the men have to pay the price for that. It's the same
Yeah.
thing as
Right. Right. Right.
if
Right.
your
Right.
kids don't brush their teeth.
Yeah.
That really comes down to you because you're the head right there. You're supposed to be
Hmm.
teaching them to do that. Like you disgusting. So if listen, let me explain something to you. If I roll up on you with my daughters right now and you see their head all nappy, teeth rotten, who you gonna look at to blame?
The
You.
father.
Me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the head and I should be in control of that. So the problem, and I'm telling y'all that this just hit me like a ton of bricks tonight, that we have to start being that head and taking charge. We
Hmm.
have to start looking at our women and saying, nah, no, 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 no. That's not acceptable. Don't come at me like that.
Hmm.
And the daddies need to
Man,
be
that'd be
teaching their
nice.
daughters that at home right now.
Right. Right.
Right now. We listen, it's on us. We
Hmm.
are the men.
We got to turn
We
this
want to
ship
claim it.
around.
We want to claim it all the time. We want to say, hey, you know
Yep.
what, man, this and this and that and that. And then when it's something that ain't going our way, we say, but see, the women need to be submissive. They need to start doing what they're supposed to do.
Hmm.
So then if that's the case, then we need to stop accepting. We listen,
Hmm.
who set the bar? The man set the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, you
And we
had.
don't want to face that.
And this is why I'm not a strong proponent of like collective organism. I'm a organizing. Excuse me. I'm not a proponent of collective organizing. I don't think it would behoove men to like collectively come together. Blah blah blah. I think we should all just be united with a code of ethics, united and bonded by a code of ethics. That hey, this is a code of conduct. This is how we're going to address our women. This is how we're going to conduct ourselves, just as men. If you claim to wear that badge of honor, that title, this okay. This is the series of this is the litmus test. This is the training you need. This is what you need to understand before you can even put that on. Otherwise, until that point, this is what you are. You are a beta, or whatever the heck. You're not a man, basically. So don't call yourself a man if you are not if you're not willing to bear that responsibility and follow this particular code of ethics as most men do.
So we should gotta get a man diploma jumping off, right?
Man school,
A man degree.
a man
Yeah, man
degree.
degree. There you go.
Hey, real talk, man. That's an idea right there.
Yeah, you can't get
I
married
ain't
unless you
gonna
got a
lie,
man
man.
I can
degree.
see ceremonies.
Man.
You
I
got it.
ain't gonna lie, man, Neil, bro. I really appreciate you, man, for what you did for me today, man. That I know it was last minute, man, but
No,
I
you
really
good, man.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
This
no
this
problem, man. No
this one
problem.
was
No problem.
definitely, I peeped that and I was like, dang, we was gonna go a different direction, man. But I'm
Yeah.
glad you looked out for me on that one, man. And Corey, if you had anything to do with that also, man, I appreciate you for real, man.
Corey always got something to do with it, whether you know
Man,
whether you privy to it or not. So don't worry about that.
appreciate
In
it.
some shape, form, or fashion.
This one definitely was a good one, boy. I ain't lying.
Yeah, this is a good
Yeah,
conversation.
I think we covered a lot of ground. You know, you know, if at all, you know what I'm saying, I think the conversation was held, you know, and you know, whether or not people are going to agree with it or disagree, I still think, you know, ultimately, yes, I 100% agree. The onus is on the man, and I definitely hear what you're saying, Corey. Essentially, we got to steer this ship clear of clear and sudden danger. You know what I'm saying? We don't want supposed to set the standard. We don't want supposed to set the bar. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. And then I think with that, the a natural byproduct is our women submitting to us. So I hear that, and I can respect that.
Yeah, man, I don't know why I've been sleeping on that for a long time, but that's real, man. We gotta
That
these are the type of conversations that we need to start having. This room right now, you should have about 10 men on the screen,
Man,
and about 2, 3, 4,000 men in the comment section or in the room watching
yeah,
this.
yep,
Because man, it gotta stop. And until we accept our role and the demise of the man,
mm-hmm.
it's never going to change. Because that,
Yep,
like you said, you gotta accept it and keep it real. When you think about that, we always say the women need to submit to the man. They submit
mm,
to exactly what we're asking for,
mm.
and they're laying.
Damn, that's deep. You had to say that like 8 times. Now I got it. I got it. I got
I
it.
kept repeating it, bro. He was like, "I know y'all. I know
No,
y'all
cause,
getting frustrated."
right,
He said it
right.
like 15, and I was like, when he first said
Yeah.
it just hit me and it
Hmm.
slapped me too. I was like, all right, so now we need to go ahead and get him on board. Like, hey, do you hear it yet? It's like, well, it's gonna take 5 more times.
Man,
All
hold
right.
up, man. You know what? Let me get you. Let me get you right. There you go.
Oh man.
Nah,
But it's true, man.
that ain't even
If
right.
we stop accepting it, man, it'll change.
That's
Look,
why, man.
I'm gonna make another point. I'm gonna make
Go
another.
ahead. Yep.
I'm sure that we all on the screen that had our share fair of different experiences, right? How many times have well, I can't say everybody, and this might be a rare incident, but how many times have you had a woman and when you want to do right, she with you. When you want to do wrong, she with you.
Mm,
Whatever you want to
yeah.
do, she
Yeah.
rolling with you.
She'll
A
follow you.
woman is the quickest to be down with you for
Mm,
whatever. Now, real
mm,
men won't put their women in them positions or in them predicaments, okay? But I'm
right.
just saying, she's down and she's ready. Oh, you need me to
Yeah.
do what? Okay, you need me to, okay, got you. Oh no, baby, you know what? We finna change our lives. We finna turn to okay, let's turn to God. So
Mhm.
they follow us, man. And we the ones lead them in the wrong direction. And
Right.
nobody wants to talk about that.
That's why I'm like, damn, if it was more men that actually stood up and was like, you know what? These rappers, these athletes, all these people that's out here on the public stage trying to represent for black men, if we was to stand up like in solidarity and reject that, like,
They
no,
would
this
change.
is
That's right.
no, this is not what no, you don't represent us. No, no, this is
Look,
not the image of the black man right here. No, know the difference.
and look, I'm gonna tell you something. Believe it or not, if men change that today, right? Say right now today, it changed. Boom. I'm willing to bet you within 24 hours, all the women to change too.
Mm,
That fast.
mm,
It'd be that fast because they want us. They listen, they need us.
yeah,
Because we provide something for them that they cannot provide for themselves.
right.
A lot. Now, like you said, I think that was you saying this before that it'd be hell to tell the captain if a woman had to live on this world by herself, but men can do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Women need certain they can't listen, they can't build a house.
yeah. A man can manipulate his environment with his
Yeah,
hands.
so men is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And women are a big deal too, right? Because we make them a big deal, but we
Right,
guide them in the way to go. We the one dictate what they're doing. Why you
right.
think the Cardi B's know them people surviving? Because we sitting back saying, "Ooh," and they
so
like,
I'm thinking about again. I'm thinking again about back to the Garden of Eden, and the woman being seduced by the devil. But then
uh-huh,
again, the man's job was to protect the woman from
and he
being
failed to do that.
seduced. There you
She didn't
go.
have no business over there
Yeah.
with the devil in the first
What
place.
are you doing over there talking to him?
Exactly, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
then when she came to him to tell him to go against God, he should have checked her,
There you go.
but he
Ooh.
didn't. But he didn't. He did.
Ooh.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
He gave in. He
He
gave
gave in.
in.
He gave in.
Wow. Hey, do you think at that point the man made the woman his god?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. Because
Mm.
listen, who do you
Mm.
follow? So this is enough, man. You finna get okay. Let me stop, man. Yes, answer is yes. I don't even make a start.
Uh-oh. That too strong energy coming out. All right now.
No, because I mean I go, but I can sense that you trying to close, so I'm gonna let you do.
No, no, no. I no, your antennas are off a
All
little
right,
bit tonight. I'm here. I'm game.
give me the question one more time.
I said, do you think the at that point the man made the woman his god?
Yes. So this is the part that we want to miss, and another thing that we don't like talking about because so many people want to claim that they follow God, right, and that they
Mm.
believe in God, but they really don't. They know of God, right?
Mhm.
So people make cars their gods.
Yep.
They make their telephones their gods.
Yep.
I'm finna say something to make some people mad. They make Bibles their gods.
Ooh,
They
that's
people
deep.
take things and make them their gods and don't even realize it.
Yep.
right? Houses, wives, kids. But because these are the people that you're following, you're under their control. Listen, at the end of the day, God is in control.
And
Right.
And when God say do something this way and you don't, whatever way you doing it, then that's what you serving.
and those are called idol gods, and he's a very
That,
jealous God, and
there
his
you
children
go.
Jealous
Idol
God. Yep.
gods.
are idol gods.
You see what I'm saying? So
Small
yes,
God,
I do
small
think
G.
that he set the tone right there because he failed to check her. Listen, I don't hesitate to say this, and I know a lot of men or a lot of women may say I'm a chauvinist because of this, but if my wife get out of line, I'm gonna check her immediately.
Yep.
And I use the word check. And I meant that because that's my job. If I don't keep my house in order, it will fall apart.
Yep.
Listen, I tell people this all the time. I have a virtuous wife, and I mean virtuous, right? She's an amazing wife, all of that, right? But if I walk out this house right now, it's gonna fall apart
Mm.
because that's not her responsibility. That's not how
Right.
she's built.
Yep.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The kids
Hmm.
get out of control. Everything, man. That's why it's our responsibilities to stand our ground and raise our children. Man,
Mm.
listen, I'm gonna tell you a quick story and about how we have to really change our mindset. I was sitting right where I'm sitting now, and I was having some pretty bad financial issues, some financial problems, right? And I thought to myself, I said, man, I'm finna do something. And my daughter walked up to me and said, "Hey, daddy, you know if something happened to you, it's got to happen to me too." I said, "Oh, what was that?" So right
Wow.
then, that was a reality check to say, "You bet not. You gotta be here for these babies. Because if
Right.
something happened to you, it's gonna be some problems."
Hmm.
Now I believe that if something was to happen to me because I'm protecting my family, I strongly believe that God will send his mercy down and take care of my family. But if I just walk away from them doing some stupid stuff, man, I left it wide open and vulnerable because he appointed me as the head.
Mm.
And we're not teaching our daughters. If we teach our daughters, do you think they'd be out here doing this stuff?
Right.
If my daughter know that that's not acceptable, I go to people's house and their kids running around smoking blunts and weed and got their pants all up in their butt. Now, come on, man. My kids know right now that stuff is not acceptable for me. And if they go out here and bring home a man like me, then they brought home a man. But if I'm a simp and they go out and bring something home like me, now I'm mad. Well, what is that? That's what you told her to go get. And you don't even realize it. But that's the part we don't want to stand up and we don't want to take our role or our responsibility in it. It's bad,
Do
man.
Do you think that like even even in spite of inculcating your children with values, you the head, you the pointed head of the family, your principles, morals, do you think that even when your children grow of age, there's still a possibility for them to be seduced by the ways of the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Because
Now,
this
is that still now at that moment, at that point, is that still the reflection of you?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if I believe, all right, I'm gonna give you a perfect example with my son, my oldest son. So I made a bunch of mistakes. I did a lot of things wrong in raising him, but I also did a lot of things right. So we planted two different seeds, right? So
Mm,
the seed
right.
that harvest first, which is typically typical, is the bad seeds. They popped up first and talked the loudest and pulled him the closest, right?
Right.
But
Yep.
when he had to go sit down and relax and rest, because now he's in a joint, right? He's locked up. So
Mm,
now he's sitting down. And now God took him away from me. I can't even go visit him. So I have not seen my son in 10 years.
mm,
Right. And I had to think, I just thought about it this year, not too long ago, man. I said to myself, I said, man, I said, that may have been the best thing for me and him at the time
mhm,
is to separate us because I was ruining him.
mm,
Every single
mhm,
time he got in trouble, guess what I did? Because I had money at the time. I used my money. I used my clout. I used everything. Get him out of it. Get the best lawyers. Get all this stuff. Oh, he was on a rampage. Oh, I'm gonna go do what I want to do. You go to jail. Oh, daddy be here to buy. And he would just be sitting there like, daddy got me. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm hands off. All I can do is talk to him on the phone. So now those seeds the good seeds I planted, they start to grow. They growing, and you should hear him now. He's writing books. he wrote a movie that did over 2 million views. Okay. He's doing some amazing things because now those plants are starting to grow. But we have to make sure that we plant more good seeds than we do bad ones. I mean, try not to plant none. And it's possible, but we just choose not to do it because we feed into the ways of society. You know what I'm saying? And that's our biggest problem, man.
Yeah. So when you happen to plant both the evil and the good seed, when that evil seed starts to grow and blossom, um, is that a result of you reaping what you sow?
I think so. I think, yeah, that's a good point. I think so. I really do, man. Because listen, bro, I tell my son this all the time. He said, Daddy, man, I'm ready to get up out of here. I said, dude, I'm doing this time with you.
Right.
I am. How do you not understand that you're doing time with your child?
Yep.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody here that love him is doing time with him. And that to a degree is even the other people around. They they fed into it. Man, if I was you, I'd do. If I was you, listen, it's real. And I'm not sitting here acting like I was Mr. Right, because I was not Mr. Right. I played my role, bruh, and I got to pay the price for that. So but the thing that we have to do is take that experience and flip it around and change. Now, the way I raise my daughters is completely different than how I raise my sons. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a better understanding now. I got a better understanding of how to communicate with my kids. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's not what we do, is what we don't do that makes them better people. We gotta quit
That's
holding
true.
hands so tight. We always talk about, God, give me the strength to hold on. What about the strength to let go? We forget about that. Some things you have to let go of, and it takes strength to do it. And that strength only comes from one place, whether you want to face it or not. But those are the things that we have to start really, really digging into, man, because man is a big deal, bro. And we got to start acting like it. We really do.
Man, I heard I heard Jesse Lee Peterson say something that kind of just been lingering in my mind for a while. Maybe you can help me understand what he meant by it. But he said, we should not pray for strength. We shouldn't ask God for strength. Like he said another part to that, but I can't remember. That was what compelled me. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you where I believe he's coming from, and it's a couple different places that I can take that. I think that basically is like, why are you asking me for something that you already have?
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Or we don't know what we want. I mean, I'm sorry, we don't know what we need.
Okay.
And he do. So what do you? I mean, just line up with him. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just telling you where I think he's coming from. But I understand what he's saying. It's like, I love my kids. I really do. I love my kids. And if I see that they need something, they're not going to have to ask me for that. My kids don't have to wake up and say, "Hey, Daddy, can I have some toothpaste to brush my teeth? Oh, how about some breakfast and some clothes to put on to go to school with? How about some?" I know you need these things, so I put them there, and I'm almost offended if you ask me for these things. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't ask God for nothing. That's not what I'm saying. But I see where Jesse coming with that, and honestly, and again, I admit I'm different. Honestly, I don't really ask God for stuff no more. I'm not saying I don't. I just don't make a habit of doing that because I already know that He already know what I want, and He already know what I need, and He know what's best for me, and He'll take care of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Let's
you
see.
don't read the scriptures, but that's in the scriptures. He did say that.
What he said? What?
He said, he said, and I'm butchering this. I
Well,
know
you
I
don't
am.
know that I don't read the scriptures because I have read the scriptures, but
Oh, okay, okay. Well, not that you don't read the scriptures. You said that you don't really rely on the
no,
scriptures
it's no.
or something.
I rely on the Spirit of God
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than I
okay.
rely on the Bible
Okay, yeah,
because
you're right, right, right,
the
right.
scriptures actually people think that the scripture is limited to a book, but it's not.
Right, because it's written in your heart. I
It's
mean,
written in your heart. I don't know why
prior
people.
to
Yeah,
prior
I mean,
to yeah, even prior to Moses being given
prior
the
to
Ten
before a Bible
Commandments.
was ever even written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. And that's so funny because you hear people say, you hear people ask the question, "Do you believe in the Bible?" Just that question alone, just the premise of that question alone is
it's
indicative of like idolatry. Like, what do you mean? Do you believe in
believe
the
in the
Bible?
Bible. Right, right, right.
So you believe in the Bible? But anyway, no, I was
I
saying that
believe in God.
in the scriptures, it was something along the lines of you.
Ask
Uh,
and you shall receive.
no, I think it was you will not even know. God knows what you want. He knows the needs of your heart, and you and you don't know what necessarily to pray for
Right.
because you have everything you pretty much need and shall ever want. So I don't know. I probably just butchered it. If anybody anybody in the chat know that verse better than me, but it was something along the lines of that. So basically, God has this wall of protection around His children, the ones who are following Him, and we're in this field, this world, and He knows what we're going to need and what we need to be equipped with in order to sustain and thrive and be His appointed vessels, essentially, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Yeah, man. But that's where I believe you're coming from. But man, just know that we you should do these talks more often, man, because we really need to start talking about this stuff.
I'm
Um,
with it, man. I'm with
because you
it.
know it's we got to stand up and take accountability, man,
Yeah.
all the way down to our wives. You know,
Yeah.
if my wife, okay, just say my wife is doing something that I don't agree with or whatever, and if I can't correct her, and in some cases, a lot of people disagree with this, but in some cases, a lot of cases, she need to be corrected in front of the children. Now, let me break down to you why. She did it in front of them, so be corrected in front of them. And not
I
only
said
that, and not only that, they need to see and say,
because they didn't know that that was wrong.
yeah, they don't know. It teaches them that it's wrong. It
yeah.
prepares them for
Yep.
the husband, and it prepares them to know how to receive correction from her husband. But if you scared to talk to her, she gonna expect her husband to be scared of her.
Right.
And then she gonna come to your door one day with a swole eye because you done got frustrated and hit her in it. Now you over there with a shotgun shooting his face off. Now you in prison.
Mm.
When all that could have been nipped in the bud by teaching your kids how to be at home, teaching them to be virtuous women, teaching your men to be men, and we won't even deal with all these issues and all these problems.
Hmm. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
so caught up in what society say how we should do things instead of listening to God.
I just think it's because a lot of men we're so siloed and so we kind of all live in our own like somewhat of our own individualistic bubble. Like men, we have the tendency to kind of
I'll be
bear
right
it.
back. Right back.
Yep. I think men, we just have this tendency to want to just bear all of the responsibility and carry the weight and shoulder it all by ourselves. And it's like it's almost pride, too prideful to even ask for help. And even often cases, man, we won't even go to the hospital to get a checkup because you don't want to find out that you weak or something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I don't need to go. I don't need to hear what the doctor has to say about. I got to keep going. I got to keep trucking. Um, so yeah, I just think if we were to recognize that all of us share the same in some degree, in some varying degree, we all share the same experience as men, because our experience through the lens of the eyes of men is different from the lens of the eyes of women. If we can all just at least come to agreement that, look, man, these are this part of society, this part of where we're supposed to be in this world, what we're supposed to represent is how we should be conducting ourselves. We came in agreement with that. That's why I'm so serious about this whole code of ethics thing, man. Like, if men, I don't think we need to do the Martin Luther King march and none of that stuff.
Heck,
I think that's all whack. I think we need to. There just need to be a code of ethics that you either abide by or you don't. And honestly, it's morality. Real talk.
do see. Oh man. All right, the Martin Luther King marching thing. Let me ask you something. If he spent as much time and energy as he did setting up marches, teaching men how to be men, what would have been more effective?
Oh my gosh! Come on now.
All that marching, man.
And they walk too. Were they marching to?
I don't even
Like halfway. All that time though.
complaining and crying like babies.
And he
Look,
was instrumental too. Like, he just to do what you're saying right now. If he was to invest his time in actually cultivating men, teaching them, showing them the right way, pointing them in the right way, man.
especially with the influence that he had.
Well,
Exactly.
You know,
You know.
that's what the government and the masses want you to do, to march, stay stagnant, and just bring light to.
Yeah.
And not put
It's like a
more,
damn script.
but that's why they didn't like Malcolm. Malcolm was about putting action to it, telling you and putting action to it. Martin was just wanting to just have speeches and let's march. And it's like what the Democrats are doing right now. What Martin did is exactly what they're doing right now.
Why do you think? Let's
Why
talk
do I
about this part. Why do you think Martin is got a holiday after you named a holiday after him? He's in the school books.
Right.
All right.
Because-
Indoctrination.
Yeah, that's he just prepared us for what was to come.
Be like Martin, y'all. March.
Yeah.
Be like Martin Luther King. Exactly.
And
And
march.
you got both sides honor him too. Both the left and the right.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Right.
So the do listen, the do dirties love what he did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the people that understand it, I mean, yeah, the do dirties understand it and they love it. And the other side don't really understand. They just see it as they've been indoctrinated too to believe he really did a great thing. And I know a lot of black people be mad at me for this, but listen, did it work out? No.
What's the
That did not.
results?
Look at
Right.
the results. Look at the results and look at us today. And you can say, well, that's because we won't do right. Well, if we'd have been taught right, maybe more of us would do right.
It made us adapt unaccountability.
That dude, it is on us. We are the head. How is it that okay? I open a store, a retail store, and I make Neil the boss. You the top boss under me. If that store fall apart, I'm looking at you. Don't tell me about what the cashier did and the maintenance man and all. Look, man,
Right.
you supposed to have that in order. I gave you a responsibility and I paid you well to do it.
And I
And
was
you sat up and cried and complained, but they didn't do that.
that's what I was looking at.
Well, then why you keep paying them?
The first thing about the first when it's doing wrong, it's always, well, everybody do it. Why y'all don't say nothing to that?
Because I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you.
Exactly.
Shirking the
You don't
blame.
when I congratulate you and give you props about what you did, how many people be like, well, you know, everybody else doing good. You ain't telling them how they doing good. It's
Right.
always deflecting blame when you're called out on doing wrong. And that's the problem with our culture now in the society.
But I mean, think about it. That's indicative of this. That's trauma. I mean, look, that's a when if you got two young kids, right? Two young children, and one of them does something, mischievous or whatever, and he gets caught. The first thing the child is going to do is blame the other person. Well, they did this or they did that. Two siblings, they're going to blame the other kid.
Mhm.
And that's indicative of what we're seeing today is grown adults with lacking that accountability. They're going to shirk the blame off to somebody else. And yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Martin Luther King, man, he was good. Man, you think Barack
Yes.
Obama was
You
good?
know, when
Man,
they find somebody
Man,
hey.
good,
man,
they
man,
find
man.
somebody good to lead the sheep.
This whole time I'm thinking like Obama just really came and did a number on y'all, but Martin
It's
Luther
the
King,
heartstrings, brother. It's the heartstrings.
Martin Luther King even
When
had
you look
me
at
swayed.
you look at the debate with Warnock and Herschel. Every question that they asked Warnock, he did not answer it directly. He went to pulling on the heartstrings about
Yep.
black and the struggle.
Of
Black
course.
people want to take hold of that because they have adopted that. So they feel like they can, instead of looking through that and getting past the hurt, get past all of
No,
that and start going through logic.
right.
He has played the violin and the flute for 8 years, and everybody, he's like the Pied Piper. He
Yeah.
came and put everybody to sleep for 8 years. His voice, even if you listen to the Warnock speech, if you really listen to it, it sounded just
Like
like
Obama.
somebody you know.
Mm.
The voice, all bro, the voice is so identical. It makes you want to. I was like, oh
Hmm.
God, does no, am I the only one who hear this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like he's speaking through the microphone and Warnock's lips are just moving.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
wondering if I was the only
And
one
wouldn't answer one question. And
at
and,
all.
and this is what's amazing. We still voting for these people.
At
How
a
do you vote for somebody that won't answer a question?
90% rate.
You got to be crazy. You won't even answer. Only thing you thinking is he black. So again, we need to take at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10. Okay, so I teach my kids that we Christians here, we conservative. We're not Republicans, we conservative.
Conservative.
Mhm. Yeah.
9 times out of 10, all of them are going to be the same way because of the influence that the man have. We are sending our children off
To
and we
con-
won't admit it. And you
Yeah.
know what we do? We blame it on the white man. We
we have
blame it on society. We blame it on being broke. All these things
Yep.
that you blame it on is your fault.
and
Right.
no accountability.
Listen,
And if you keep repeating that, if you keep repeating that same lie for
You
years and
start to
years and
believe
it's
it.
gonna
years and
keep going because
years,
guess
You
what?
start to believe it.
Because if I do that, if I leave this my family hungry and in need, and my wife accepting it on top of that, guess what my daughter's gonna accept? Because she's gonna think it's normal.
hmm
She's gonna think it's normal. So now when she see me being a man and she see this clown over here mess, she gonna be like, what I want with that?
yeah,
But I have to teach her that these things. We
yep,
got to have these man. Listen, man, and the biggest conversation you can have with your daughters about that is action. You don't have to say a word for a while, for a long time, because all they got to do is watch and see. They watch and see. Do you think that if my daughter follows God, if I'm following God and she following God, and she see a beta, she gonna recognize it just like that,
yeah.
and it's gonna be simple for her because she all she got to say is he's not like my daddy.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
definitely,
She
you
should be
definitely,
unattracted to that.
you
That's what
definitely got
that's what I wanted to ask. I'm sorry. So okay, so help me. Maybe y'all can offer some I don't know, some perspective on this. But so for the men, conservative men, for men who actually who are about family, God, you know, morality, for those men who are principled, we kind of have those type of men. They're I'm trying to word this right, but they're kind of like in this He-Man mode where it's like, look, I'm doing for me, I'm doing for my family, I'm doing for what's right. I don't necessarily feel compelled to have to speak against what's happening out in the world. I don't need to chime in on that. That's not my business.
But it is your business.
Right.
How is it not your business?
So that's what I'm saying. So what do you say? How do you respond to those men who have that right to not be a part excuse me, to not feel obligated to speak on the violations of moral law, basically?
They're not
Well,
real men
well,
because
you have to
they don't
educate them.
really they
Go ahead, boss.
they're not real men because they don't understand themselves, so they're still going with the flow of being led by the world. They're not they're just saying, I'm worried about my family and I'm not worried about. They don't understand. They don't know how to really lead, because if you can say that that's not my business, you don't realize that negatively affects your household, because your children, your wife, your family goes out into that world.
That's
Y'all are
right.
not just sitting into the house all day long and all they see is you. So
Right.
he does not know how to lead for real. He is just saying that most men, like I said earlier, are just are just existing as the gender of man, and not living as a man in the roles of a man and what a man is supposed to do.
But how do you persuade a
Okay,
man
right,
like
right.
that
So
that's
that's the question.
complacent?
Let me answer the question. The question is, you have to have these type of conversations. It
Yeah.
starts with a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's right now it's three of us here. It's three men. You do this again next week, it might be four men, then five, then six, and then more people start to come listen, because it's good stuff. And sometimes we might not want to accept it. Okay, like we just went through this proof in the pudding. I said the thing about the man, and I'm not saying I'm better than nobody on the screen, because listen, it didn't hit me until y'all engaged me. It started with a conversation.
Yeah.
Y'all was saying stuff that made me say, damn. And it said, boom. And I've never said that before. That's why I got to back it up and say, don't call me no hypocrite. I just changed my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I
right,
had to.
right, right.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
you
Go ahead.
JP may have never thought of it that way, and
Hmm.
then you at first was saying, and then you received it.
Yeah.
So it all started with a conversation, but it just wasn't me. It was triggered from things that y'all was saying.
Hmm.
So together, three men came together, and we came up with, you know what? The bottom line is, we need to start setting the bar.
Yeah.
We doing this to our listen, man. It's so heavy on me now, man. Listen, we got to talk about this, because we are leading our women in the wrong direction. Every time you see a thug, take to everybody knows something. You know the biggest thugs in America, right? They run around, they doing this, and they got that chick next to them sometimes to him. She ready, she got the pistol in the purse, she holding the pack, right?
Yep.
And then she in church with the dude on Sunday.
There you go.
If he changed his life, she's gonna change. Which thing she gonna do? Say, oh no, you know what? I'm done with you. I want a thug. Now I'm telling you, that's what we like to think, but that's not what's gonna happen. She's gonna ride. She's gonna go with him, and she gonna get on that computer, and she gonna work his books and everything. But the minute he say, you know what, let's go back to thugging, she gonna say, "Well, okay." you know, so
Mhm.
we the ones leading these women, right? We the ones setting the bar. We doing this, but until we have these conversations with other men and break these things down, it's not understood.
But okay, okay, and that's true, and that's fair, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But okay, I gotta say this: Do you believe some of? Do you believe some of them just gonna have to die off?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for a fact. Yes,
Yeah,
You gotta cut your finger off sometime to save your hand.
I'm
yes.
talking about they need like they need to be really they need to be.
Are you asking me? Should we do it?
No, I'm not. See, no, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Hell
not,
no.
Can't
I
play
ain't,
God.
nah,
Can't play
I ain't
God.
advocating that. What I'm thinking in my mind right now is when Moses freed the Hebrews, right, and they went into the wilderness, and then when he went up to get the Ten Commandments, they got back to acting crazy and worshiping all this craziness, and then God said, "Okay, so some of y'all gonna have to die off. The bad part, the part that's influencing my children to worship idols. The part that we have right now, the segment of people in the black community right now that's perpetuating this degeneracy,
Mhm.
they're going to glom them. They're going to continually glom themselves to good men and women of the black community. They're going to completely continue to mesh themselves in with us as if what they're doing is honorable and principled.
Because we're allowing it.
Right. So how do you disconnect yourself from that? How are we going to disconnect ourselves from that segment?
You disconnect yourself from that segment.
Well, but you know what? Also, would it
We
be
got cousins. We got
when you stay strong in who you are, they will weed themselves off because they will start feeling uncomfortable. They will either start feeling like they're uncomfortable around you because they feel like you're looking at them or treating them a certain way because of your growth or who you have become, or they will just feel like, yeah, I can't even be around a certain person like that. Sometimes you don't have to be the one to disconnect of a person like me and a person like Corey who moves spiritually. As long as you stay steadfast on who you are, God will remove them himself. You don't have to remove it. If you just be who you are, they will fall off on their own. You don't have to forcefully do it. You don't have to forcefully disconnect yourself. Being you will make the devil uncomfortable. He will either become stronger and attack you, or he will make him God will make him bow down to your feet. It's just that simple.
And you make yourself unavailable. I'm not available to certain people. Like anybody can just call me and say, "Hey man, let's go grab some." First of all, I don't kick it. That's off the table right there. I don't do no kicking it.
Yeah.
We grown men. You understand what I'm saying? If I
right.
got time to kick it, that's time that I can spend with my daughters
Mm,
and my wife. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now, do I want to do things sometimes? Yes, I do. Now, if certain people call and say, "Hey man, what you doing, man? Let's go grab some eats, man, so we can talk." And listen, if I can't have a productive conversation with a person, I'm not interested in sitting down. Just what is that? That's
Mm.
pretty gay, right?
See that right there. So I get it. Disconnect. Absolutely separate yourself from them. I understand that. My thing is then why should we feel obligated to educate these people or
Because that's
enlighten
our
them?
job.
I
Because
was just about to say that the
we
word
are the
says
head.
that's our
And
job.
when you when you the head, it comes with responsibilities. It is our job. How can it
Okay.
not be? Why would we want to make it our job when we know our kids got to walk out there?
We
I
were
agree. I
we
agree.
were
I agree. But for that segment of just
we were
uh
created first for a reason.
but
We're
for those who are not accepting the they're not accepting the change. They refuse to. They will fight you tooth and nail.
That's when you have to realize and come to your senses to say, I don't offer the help that he need. And you let God deal with him. You
listen.
don't why would you spend time on that? You don't offer the help he need. So when you try to force yourself to offer the help that he need, now you playing God. And that's dangerous.
And that evil spirit becomes on to jump on you, and then you become doom and gloom, or you become to question your faith, question your journey, because again, being around that certain energy and stuff like that, it overtakes you. So you can't look at so much of your job is to help, but you can't feel obligated so much to forcefully stay there. You can't, because you do what you can do, and then you take your hands off of it and say, it's like the serenity prayer. You just do the things that you can control. It is what it is. The
I'm
one
just trying to think okay, in the black community, are they just lost or are they
Yeah.
just retarded?
they're looking for a lead.
Lost.
They're
Because
looking
they're retarded, there may be some recourse. Excuse me, if they're lost, there may be some recourse. But if they're retarded, it's going to actually take some time, attention, and care. Meaning that energy that y'all talking about not expending to on those who are just slow to learn or just outright refusing to learn.
You, I understand what you're saying, and I struggled with that for a while too. But this is what I come to realize, man. Stuff is real simple and logical. It's just really basic. And even when you break these things down to people, they know what you're talking about, and
Right.
they know you're right. But
Yep.
they done said it so many times, and they stand on it, and they not man enough to
Oh
say,
man.
you know what, you right.
Right.
They hear you. They don't want to be right because they don't want to be wrong. If that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying?
I
So
understand. I
that's all it is.
understand.
So they had so it's a good example for men to stand up and do this in front of their kids. You know what? You're right. I remember just about 2 weeks ago. So I honestly don't even remember what happened, or I just break it down. But I got on my daughter for something, and she waited. She was patient. Now, see, she learned that from her mama.
Mm.
She didn't try to combat me because she knew I was upset at the time. She waited till I was sitting down, and she came and sat next to me and said, "Dad, I need to talk to you." She said, "I didn't say nothing to you because I didn't think you were going to listen, and I didn't want to make you mad. But blah 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 blah." And I started to say, "No, no, shut up." But I had to check myself and say,
Mm-hmm.
"All right, baby, you know what? You're right, and I apologize." And not
Mm-hmm.
only did I apologize to her, I apologized to her in front of everybody because I
Right.
did it in front of everybody.
Right.
And they
Exactly.
need to see that and understand that it's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
need
when we just keep want to act like we right and don't want to admit it, we dig ourselves a bigger hole. And that's exactly what we
Yeah.
do. Do you not think, let me tell you something, man, even on the political tip, on the political side, you say, man, I can't believe y'all finna vote for Joe. Okay, and they got a legitimate reason to think how they got a right to feel how they want to feel, right? Now this dude is in office. And you telling me you can't see what he's did to this country? They see it. That's why they quiet.
Right.
That's why they
Deny
won't
their
jump
own
on the
eyes.
timeline and say, I mean, they won't jump on they type in the comment section, but they won't get on the screen with you because they
Right.
know they can't stand, because they know, people know, bruh, that it's that pride that's holding them down, and they don't want to let it go.
I was having a conversation with this dude on Bigo. It's like one of them random matches, right? This guy from Florida, typical thug type. Dude had you know, he had golds all in his mouth. Now, first question I asked him, I said, listen, man, I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't want you to get offended, but I gotta know for my own purposes. But as a grown man, why do you feel the need to wear gold teeth and present yourself like that out in public? Like as far as your image is concerned. This dude, I mean, for 5 minutes straight, just went ham on me. Yeah, what type of gay ass stuff, man? You lame. What type of gay questions? I was, look, I'm just genuine. I'm genuinely asking a question. I'm just asking a question as a grown man, as because you and I, may not have nothing in common, but you share my reflection. Just as a black man, why would you want to project that image when you know that if you go a couple streets down the block, you're gonna see seven other MFers look that doing the same thing? But you personally, why you? Why you? Why did you want to replicate that look?
Because we, again, men, so you got them goals, boy, you looking good. That's why. Because we approve it.
Yep. Yep.
We approve these things. And then not only that, the women fall for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it all again comes back to us men, and we need to hold ourselves accountable, and we need to change it. We
Amen.
approve these things. People come on there and they you got the local gang banger, you know, and you know what we do? Man, you hard. You don't play. This is what we do, right? We
Yep.
we we, we
Yep.
promote this stuff and we
It gives
encourage it.
you, it empowers you.
Yeah,
Yep.
we give we us men are giving that, we empowering it, and I can tell you
That's
firsthand,
crazy.
when I was in the streets, man, I would pull up to the family events, and um, you know,
And stunt.
man, listen, the most expensive car, on the block, you know, my bracelet costs more than your house and all that old mess, and you
Uh-oh.
walking up, and everybody know what I was doing. Didn't nobody say to me, Man, listen, we really can you we don't really want you here. We don't want our kids influenced by you. Can
Right.
you respectfully leave?
Right.
Nobody said that. What they did is they let their kids crowd around me and want to be just like me.
And give him $1.
And he passed it to them.
Yeah,
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
stay in
And listen,
school. Stay in school,
listen.
little man.
Let me tell you
Get your
Right.
something.
education, little man.
If I catch a Negro or any other thing, a Latino, a white, anything, doing something wrong and reaching his pocket to hand my kids anything, it's gonna be a problem.
That's a problem.
We're gonna stop that right there. Because technically speaking, if I am a man handling my responsibilities, you should almost feel odd about reaching in your pocket about trying to give my kids anything because
Right.
you ought to be feeling like they don't need that from me.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
that man standing right there.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to reward them for something they did, that's fine. That's
Right.
because they earned that. But don't be passing out nothing to my kids like they charity.
You got
Yep.
to.
And I know what you're doing, and they do too, because you got the gold and everything else going on. And don't say
Yeah.
I'm judging, because listen, it's discernment. We know what it is.
Yeah. But you was right though, man. We gotta start having these conversations, like having your man Mondays, your teaching Tuesdays,
Teaching Tuesdays.
your
Yeah. Real talk.
your
Hey, hold
wisdom,
on. Let me write that down.
your
Man
wisdom,
Mondays. Hold up. I like
teaching
that.
Tuesdays, your wisdom Wednesday.
Hold up. Slow down now. Hold up now. No, I got you. Hey, I'm gonna talk to you about that in the back end.
Yeah.
You know what? That's funny you said that because I have been trying to cultivate little themes throughout the week, but I appreciate that. I like that. I like
Neil,
that.
you're the best man for the job, man, because people, no, for real, because people draw to you.
Yeah.
Out of the whole Fair Media crew, you would be the man to do that. Because I believe you'll be the one to get people to come. People, listen, ain't nobody trying to hear me and Merlin. I can tell you, we might come. I say the weirdest things.
Say that.
Not,
Let's say
not in
that.
the group setting of y'all putting
Yeah,
somebody.
I could. Yeah, I can see
Now,
that.
once we get in the room and start, it's gonna be a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now you listening. Now we backing ideas back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's the minute one of us try to step up and help people, the first thing is, oh man, okay, like the dude. You see the dude, the little clown in the conversation. Oh man, the two light skinned dudes, man, they some. I ain't saying that. Then he hit. Oh, Corey. What did he say about Corey? Used to something. No, dude, what did I say that was wrong? Because I wanted men to be accountable, and you mad at me about that because
Okay.
I want to hold myself accountable for being a man.
So will we disconnect ourselves from someone like that? Somebody who has now. How would you characterize that type of guy? Now, is that guy even worthy of actually given an opportunity to be heard and to be taught?
Maybe he do, but I don't offer the help he need. That's why I blocked him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Now I didn't block him off of your YouTube channel. I'm not gonna, but he was in their media room, so I blocked him.
Yeah, he was, he kept going. It's like, if you want to speak,
And you
come
see
on.
how long I let him go, right?
Yeah, he
But
kept
then he turned around and disrespected royalty
going.
Yeah.
because she telling the truth. He gonna disrespect her
Yeah.
because she don't look how he want her to look. He
Yeah.
think he got the right to tell her, "Oh, you got to, man, get out of here, dude."
That's what I'm saying. Is running up against that type of that sort of opposition. It's almost like foolish to even engage. Like I think about what God said is you're a fool. You're a bigger fool to argue with another fool.
You're correct though. You're correct about that.
So
That's something
so when I hear that we should educate and we should do that, okay, I get it. For those who are lost and those who want to learn, that's fine.
Mhm.
But Lord, am I obligated to hold a conversation with this sort of opposition that just only wants to, you know what I'm saying?
But Neil, you got to understand this too, man. Listen, it's more people that won't help than what we know.
Right.
And here's why. I'm talking about the black community and everybody, but we specifying down to the black community right now. We are group thinkers.
Group think.
Yeah, and we feel obligated to think like the rest of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the crowd don't want to think like the rest of the crowd either. but the rest of the crowd thinking like the rest of the crowd. So everybody, don't want to admit it. Sometimes, listen, sometimes all it takes is for one person. Think about this. You ever been in a car and it's hot and you thinking, man, it's hot in here, but I don't want to say nothing. And then somebody
Yep.
be like, it's hot. And you be like, man, you ain't lying.
Man, that happened to me at work. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yep.
so a lot of us are in the car hot and don't want to say nothing
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to be the oddball. But
Yeah.
soon as one person say it, you got more people say, you know what? It is hot in here. Ooh, roll
Yep.
down the window. Yeah, me too. And
And
that's where
that
we have to start. We got to start talking about it.
and that's exactly why, precisely why I don't think there's no. I don't know. I mean, maybe up to this point, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll learn different. But I just think up to this point, there has not been any good men because there's no way we could have got to where we at right now.
Man, we low on it. We low on it. But as we become men, men look back and they realize where they fell short. Men can look back and say, well, you know what? My daddy didn't provide me with this, but my father, God, did.
Mm-hmm.
Use it
Yep.
because he give us that. You know what I'm saying? He give us certain, we got these things in our head. We know what's going on. We refuse to execute it because we worried about what the next man thinking. I had a guy ask me, he said, man, because he knew when I first started my podcast. And I mean, I started with a little bitty picnic table and a computer that couldn't have just the whole night, right? Just sitting there doing my thing. He said, man, you came a long way, man. How did you, what's the recipe? I said, well, in order to be successful at this, the first thing you have to do is you can't be scared to make a fool out of yourself.
Mm.
And I don't mean a literal fool. I mean how people portray you, how see you.
Right.
Could you imagine the lifestyle that I come from to doing what I'm doing now? It's a lot of
Whew.
people. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people saying, "Oh man, you fake. Look at you.
Yep. From
You
that.
too
Yep.
hungry.
From
You
that
messy.
side. Yep.
You this. You that. You get all kind of stuff, but you can't get into that. You just tell them, hey, well, okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be that example, man, and you cannot care like to that point. So it's just like we got to do what we supposed to do and stay focused on being a man, and that's being the head, and we'll be in a much better place, man. But
Yeah.
until we do that, we in trouble.
Yeah.
We in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Well, any final thoughts, JP? I know. I know you're getting tired. I see you over there bobbing and weaving. So
Yeah.
Had to get him
no,
back there.
I had to get him back real quick.
Woo! Man. Hey
No
man,
final thoughts, big dog.
I love this, man. I definitely, man. Like I said, it was just something put on me, man, to hit you up about it earlier, man. And I never imagined that it would turn out to be this. I never
Yeah,
even
man.
imagined, bro. We had a definitely different view on what the plan was, man. And
Yeah.
bro, I applaud you, bro, and I appreciate what you did because this was magnificent. I hope and pray that you continue this, man, because you just started something beautiful. If you continue on it, man.
Hey,
Absolutely.
look, you heard what Corey said. That look, this is a mission for men. So, I welcome you, man, on this journey, man. This is one of many. I mean, I felt the spark too. So you know what I'm saying. I'm not afraid and I'm not embarrassed to say that I would appreciate and welcome your assistance and your aid in this process. So, and I
Hey,
think that more men should be willing to ask for that help. And it's all good.
and I'm here for you, brother. I told you that from the jump, man. I'm here for you, man. And anything I can help you with, bro, because you've been a tremendous help to me, man.
Real
Man, Neil,
talk, man.
Neil, Neil's a super smooth man.
Yeah, yeah.
Neil,
you know, I'm trying to be, man. I got some things happening, but well, it's all good.
it'll work out. Everything will work out.
Yeah.
No problem.
Corey, any last thoughts, my brother?
No, man, except that this was good. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I got something. I got a lot out of it, man. Um, a lot of it that can probably be life changing for not just for me, but for a lot of people, man.
Hmm.
And the main thing is y'all help me get to the point to understand that um we got to take responsibility for this, man. We do all this complaining, and then we say we the head, and they not following us, but actually they are.
Can you imagine if it was a million man black man march on Hollywood?
Man, you see? No, we ain't gonna mess with that because we
I'm
like
just saying. I'm just saying.
we love it.
Right, exactly. Anyway, I'm tripping. I'm late. I'm getting slightly delirious.
Yeah, do it
Uh,
again. Do this again, Neil. This is good, man.
yeah, man. I told you. Look, what do he say? Manhood Mondays,
Man,
teaching
Mondays,
Tuesdays,
Tuesday,
wisdom Wednesdays. All right, look, man. You think I'm playing? I'm about to tomorrow morning. I'm about to come up with a whole concept.
That's what's
But
up.
I appreciate y'all, man, as always. And you know, I don't know who's still with us in the chat, but I thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Absolutely. And you guys already know how we end this. We speak in truth and reality. And I promise you, men, I promise you, we will reinstitute morality. Y'all have a good night.
And you ain't black.